Ready or not, who wants to take the joke? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
I didn't know you could yodel.
As I said that, I just realized what I'd done. Little old lady who?
Welcome, everyone, to episode number 34 of The Underground Sound. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango and the brass monkey, that funky monkey, smart monkey. Together, we are putting us back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we will find the music that you love to hear.
And of course, don't forget to press your little bell so that you get all the notifications of whenever Tom uploads new Underground Sound videos. And of course, the sound cancellation thing, you can't hear the tinkle, so I'll do the ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
I can hear the tinkle.
Can you?
Just
Normally, you don't hear me tinkle.
I can hear you tinkling.
Oh, well, I'm glad you can hear me tinkling.
Normally, we have to tell you to turn the mic off as you're tinkling, but
Okay.
All right.
I'm a tinkler.
Carl's tinkling, and let's see, what do we got to get to here? Oh, first and foremost,
so you know Carlos Tinkling.
I actually did come across somebody who was called Tinkler the other day.
Carlos Tinkling.
James Tinkler, I think his name was.
Sorry about this.
Sounded like a carry-on name, Mr. Tinkler. Oh, what's that T-shirt you got on there, Rob?
It is Muse.
Is it?
Yours. I think so. I hope so. I've just embarrassed myself.
Oh. Well, does it say Muse on it somewhere?
Not Dissension. That's a band, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resistance. Sorry.
Ah, right, okay.
oh, yeah. Makes sense, yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Can I go on with the intro now?
Yeah, carry on.
Okay, thank you.
Let's disturb you. I'll
Okay.
talk to you later, Carl.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Special thanks to our show sponsor, Nathan Brashear of Monsters Are Real. Please do visit the video description below, not just for Nathan's links, but for all the fantastic underground and indie musicians that we're going to review today. But do check out Nathan Brashear at monstersarerealmusic.com. And we thank you, Brother Nathan, for sponsoring the show yet again. So one thing I should bring up real quick here. I'm moving next week, and I got my move-in dates wrong. I thought that I was actually moving in on the 24th. I'm actually moving in on the 26th, which is a Wednesday. I don't have the moving company coming until Thursday, and so next Friday we may not be able to record a show. So as you're watching this show, next Friday we may not have a show. So I'm going.
Oh, okay, I'm over it.
Holiday.
Actually, I'm really sad about that. If we can't
yeah.
do that, I just don't know what we're going to do on a Friday night with ourselves.
I can think of a few things, but that it may be a possibility. I'm going to be on the phone with the electric company, the cable company, and everybody on Monday to make sure that all that's moving forward. I just don't know if I'm going to actually have the computer transferred and everything set up there just yet. So if there is no show next week, then we will be back the week after that, and the week after that we will have our hair episode.
Oh, as soon as that. Okay, I better make sure I've got all my hair.
That'll be the one.
Start growing it, and you better start growing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get that Rogaine. Don't.
Okay, I'm on the case anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to call him the cable guy when you move in. Is Jim Carrey going to start waltzing up to the little bit through the door? I love Cable Guy. Love it.
Cable Guy was, I think, was very underrated. I thought it was very funny.
Oh.
Jim Carrey himself is just very funny. I think it brings life.
Such a good film. Such a good film.
And surprisingly, also, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was the first drama that I actually saw Jim Carrey in, and I think he played the part very well there as well.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
I do enjoy Jim Carrey as an actor altogether. So, mentioning, so we did episode 29, and we did have a band on episode 29 called Train for Sinners. The name of the song there was called Downwind, and Train for Sinners recently hopped on to our YouTube channel and shot me a personal email where they had actually sent lyrics over for the song because they did enjoy our reviews. So by the time you are watching this video, those lyrics will be up on episode 29. You'll find them at the very bottom, just so I don't have to reformat the entire video description. But those will be the lyrics to the song Downwind by Train for Sinners. And I do thank you, Train for Sinners, for your personal message and actually sharing the lyrics with everybody, so that way we can get a feel for what's going on with the music. So
yeah, I have to say we are getting more of those messages in. So I'm with you on that, Tom. I encourage people to message us, because we do. I had Ascension message us recently because of one of the reviews we did, and it's really, really good to get these almost like personal messages, because we feel like we're part of each of these artists' journey. Then each of your journeys, and we love it. That's what we're here for. So yeah, message out, reach out to us, share us. We're here to support everyone. So
absolutely. Yeah. And go ahead, Carl.
I was just going to support what Rob says. It's so nice to hear from people, and also to interact. We're getting more interaction and more traction, it seems. But so we're growing as a community together, and we're doing this because we know what it's like, and we love to get people's music out there and help them in any small way that we can. But people like the critiques as well. I mean, if we do say something, it's meant. It's said from a good place,
constructively. Yep,
exactly that. And we do mean well, and sometimes it can help people because they're on their own at home producing and no sounding boards. So it's nice to always nice to have people sort of cast their eye over your songs to say, what if you try this? What if you try that? And it can help improve your own music.
I think so as well. And just to quantify a little bit on that, I think that people are picking up on that from us, because we have been getting a lot of let's say shares on Facebook and a lot of shares on Instagram. And we don't personally do Facebook or Instagram ourselves. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about this before the show started. We're a bit worried about YouTube, so we are going to bring the podcast back, and we are going to bring the live show back as well. Those will happen certainly soon after the move. The radio station will make a comeback. The podcast will make a comeback. And as we have the radio station, we will be actually recording the show live there. So you'll be able to call into us and interact with us even more. But please do, for all intents and purposes now, please do leave your comments down in the comment section below. And again, do visit the video description below, because not only will you find the links to our show sponsor, Nathan Brashear, you will find the links to all these fantastic artists that we're going to review today, but also you will find my email there, and you will find links to the two fine gentlemen that I work with here, Smart Monkey and Carlos Fandango. You will find links to their Spotify, their Instagrams, their link trees, whatever they have going on, their websites. And so if you want to link up with any of the hosts, then by all means, please do that as well. So we encourage interaction. We love interaction. We love hearing your thoughts as well. Yes. So Carl, last week it was Smart Monkey. This week it's Carl. Okay. This day in music history. This one's a pretty sad one. The first one here is this day in music history. Today is April 21st, 2023, as the date of the recording. And I think it'll be kind of fun doing these live as well when we're back on the radio station. But Prince was found dead in his home in Minnesota at the age of 57. After police were summoned to his Paisley Park estate and found his body in a lift. So I know you had one as well, Carl. Oh, I'm sorry, because that one was Prince. You also had a music death. Was it
It was Ahmad Jamal, the jazz pianist, and he worked with Miles Davis and a number of the greats, but was one of the greats himself. I mean, he's lesser known in the world of music generally, but certainly in the world of jazz, he was one of the giants. And really, so he's an American jazz pianist, basically. But sad loss, really. And I would encourage people to check out Ahmed Jamal's music.
I'm pretty sure most of you have heard Prince's music as well, but Ahmed Jamal as well. Please do listen to those songs. And so we will raise a little bit of a toast here and cheers and thank you for the music, as we usually say. Cheers.
Yeah, to Prince, may you forever purple rain.
Indeed. May doves cry. That was good. I like the doves cry one. I thought it was good.
Oh, it's a great song, yeah. Awesome. In fact, that film was, Purple Rain film was, I think, a really good film.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. On to some better news. This day in music history in 2013, Calvin Harris, I should say, made chart history by becoming the first artist to have 8 top 10 hits from his one studio album.
I thought you were going to say ADɅM.
That what?
Calvin Harris, the first person to have 10 burgers in one go.
Well, I guess I would have said it.
That was good. I like it.
Yeah.
8.
That was good.
Yeah,
I thought that was an interesting fact. 8 top 10 hits from one studio album.
Yes.
That's actually pretty impressive, right?
Pretty impressive.
It is, although it's the sort of thing they used to do in the 80s, particularly Michael Jackson would release almost every song from the album and tear the arse out of it, basically. But it's but that's just the way it was done then, I suppose, for a while. Well, they were good quality songs, of course. So.
I love that term of phrase.
Paraphrase. Okay, my goodness. All right. This day in history in 1969, Janis Joplin appeared at the Royal Albert Hall in London, her first London appearance, and the opening act was Yes, by the way.
What was that last bit? Sorry, I was coughing.
Her opening act was Yes.
Yes.
Really? Ooh.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And today in music history, sharing a birthday with us, is born in 1959, Robert Smith, the frontman of The Cure also. So raising a glass, cheers. Happy birthday to you, Robert Smith. I think that the Cure is actually wrapping up a U.S. tour at the moment as well, if I'm not mistaken. But in either case, 1959, born on this day, Robert Smith of The Cure. Cheers.
Cheers.
And thank you for the music as well.
Yeah, I love The Cure. Good.
Same here. I think Close to Me is still my favorite.
Cracking.
I think my favorite is always going to be Love Song.
Yeah,
I think Always and Forever. I think that's one that resonates throughout history and throughout most people that know anything about The Cure, because that was so heavily played on the radio and on MTV and I mean just all over the place, right? So Cure, a great band. I encourage you all to check out more than just the Love Song. Please do check out their body of work. I'm pretty sure that these days you can find them on Spotify and
easily
all over the place.
Oh, plus the Caterpillar. I like the Caterpillar as well. Quite an odd song. Really unusual song. Love Cats, of course.
But that was it, wasn't they? They had a lot of very quirky songs that were just so clever and so catchy. And love The Cure.
Love to hear. He has a fantastic voice too. Who were we talking about?
The Cure.
No, I know that, but we were talking about an artist recently who I said that the voice resonates as Robert Smith's.
Oh right, yes, yes. No, you're right. Yeah, one of the ones we listened to.
Well, we had.
Well, it was the guitar more than the voice, wasn't it? Wasn't it more about the guitar?
Well, last week's song by Marlon Funaki, or what you call Marion Funaki, was basically called City, and that one had the Cure sound without the Robert Smith vocal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do remember a Robert Smith vocal somewhere.
So, I think. I think you're right. That was about maybe 3 or 4 shows ago. You're right.
It could have been even longer, because there's songs that I was looking for, that I was thinking about in my head, and I wanted to go and replay them on certain shows, and I really had to like backtrack like 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks, because we have a ton of fun on this show, obviously, and we love listening to all this fantastic music, and we do listen to 10 songs plus per day. We're gonna towards our break section. In today's show, you'll notice that we're going to start doing something a little bit different, because not only have folks been interacting with us more, they've been leaving more comments, but also we've been having more direct submissions, and we feel that we need to throw the direct submissions in there so that way we can get the word out on those as well. So stay tuned if you don't listen, to the halfway point, but check out the halfway point, because we'll be doing something a little bit different with the direct submissions there. So now, on with the show, we should start, because it's 2 minutes to 3:30 here, unless Carl wants to interject with something, because he took a really deep breath and got...
Oh, it's just I'm clearing my throat. It seems to be I've must have some sort of frog in my throat or something. But oh, sorry, it really made me laugh here. But don't worry about it. But yes, I just basically went to take a deep breath, muted the mic, coughed, and then unmuted it. So it looked like I just went and then back again. Sorry about that.
I thought you had something to say, but okay. Well, I'm sure that we'll have something to say after this first track here. Our track number 1 for episode 34 is a group called JAWBERRY with How I Feel. What's going on?
Okay, so the person behind JAWBERRY is Juan from Palm Coast in Florida, USA. So your neck of the woods, Tom, or nearby, in your sort of general area as such. Influences include Kanye West, Lord, Gorillaz, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, Kid Cudi, Post Malone, Angels and Airwaves, and a few others. Sounds like a sort of introspective, hooky, sort of nostalgic bass lines. So it's a little bit retro, but more retro 90s. And as you shall hear from the song, which is called How I Feel, it's got very much that sort of feel. Some of the comments here are good job. Vocals sit tight really well in the mix. Love your other song too. This tune has some swagger, plus infectious cowbells beat. Favorable response. It's had 7 saves from 31 plays, a really good ratio. So I'm hoping this is a great show opener, and one that our audience and you two will both like, all like.
All right. JAWBERRY with How I Feel. This is also available on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, and SoundCloud, listed as alternative rock as the main source here. Let's check out How I Feel.
Took a turn since yesterday. Everything around me seemed to change. I got caught in the rain. I got shortchanged on back in line at the bank. Guess it's all the same when the sun goes down. I'll try another thing if it don't work out. Take a trip west if it all goes south. Yeah, yeah. Some days that's just how I feel. Trying to find my way. I've been spinning my wheels. Hit the gas and I'm gone. Trying to be real. Hit a wall when I punch the clock. Moving my arms like a robot. Trying to pace myself, make it good for my health till the big man rings the bell. Guess it's all the same when the sun goes down. I'll try another thing if it don't work out. Take a trip west, taste the salt in my mouth. Yeah, yeah. Some days that's just how I feel. Trying to find my way. I've been spinning my wheels. Hit the gas and I'm gone.
All right. That was JAWBERRY with How I Feel and Smart Monkey. How do you feel?
I feel very well, thank you. I've had a little bit of a tickle in my throat, but probably not as bad as Carl. He seems
I
to
meant
really
after that song.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, absolutely love that one. That to me is probably one of the best openers we've had yet. Well, it's a personal taste, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was really, really good. Definitely getting like Kate Gorilla's Beck vibes from that. I just love the quirkiness of it. I love all of that. It's definitely got like a surfy vibe to it. Takes me back to an era where I used to surf once, but as well, not proper surfing. I did bodyboarding, but I used to go and I'd be in those circles, and this sort of music is what you'd be listening to. And if you went into a surf shop or whatever, this sort of music would be playing. You got really good vibes from it, and yeah, it's just a really good, fun, positive sort of. It's got that Californian American feel to it. It's I don't know what I could just keep on harping on here because I love it. But really good production, really solid track, fantastic opener, and already could be one of my top 3.
I agree with you on that, Carlos Fandango.
Wholly agree. I mean, the name Beck I've written down here as well as, well, there's a bit of D-Light's Groove is in the Heart sort of feel and vibe to it. Got the Charlatans, Happy Mondays, Blur, In Spiral Carpets. It's all in there. It's back to the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, when there was a lot of retro 60s psychedelic sort of feel going back into the music. So it's a retro song sort of set in the 90s doing the 60s, as it were. So yeah, really good. And all about the groove, the vibe, and the feel. It's a feel-good song. It's nicely put together, well constructed. The drums, bass guitar, guitars, the reverse guitar, and the rhythmic elements, and the singing, the vocals as well. Nice reverb on there. Everything's done really tastefully, really well. Everything's placed well, and it's a very thoughtful production, really. It's well considered all the way through, and it comes out in the song. He's put a lot of effort into that, and it's actually, I'm hearing it now again and thinking, yeah, I do like that one. So
it grows on you, doesn't it? It just grows on you. It's a real grower.
And we were just chatting before the show, Rob and I, because obviously Tom doesn't listen to the tracks, folks, so he listens to them, hears them afresh, but Rob and myself have heard them before. And I do think tonight's going to be a tough show to call for a top 3. So, but this be hard to not put this one in it. But then we've got some really good tracks coming up, so we shall see.
So you are feeling that confident about the show today, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be a good show, I think.
As it is, okay. Well, as the gentleman Carl has mentioned, I do listen to these songs for the first time here, and that one definitely took me back to the 90s. I agree with everything both of you said wholeheartedly. Back to this kind of like 60s funkadelic era, but with a very modern Beck and Gorillas, especially. I think I heard the Gorillas more in there. But one song that was kind of like going through my mind when I was listening to this one was, if you remember, Devil's Haircut from Beck. So got Devil's Haircut in my mind. Devil's Haircut from Beck was going through my mind with this, even though I do think that this fits more in with the Gorillas than it does Beck. Beck is very, very eclectic. He's a very, very good songwriter. He really, really is. He's a superb talent, and highly recommend checking out the entirety of Beck's body of music, other than just the stuff that's been played on the radio, because he really is. He's a genius. Because where was he? He was from the Netherlands, was it? If I remember correctly, Rob.
I don't know, actually. I was always thought,
I'll look it up quickly.
yeah, let's go and have a quick gander.
It says American musician.
It doesn't really.
I say he's very American to me, but
I could swear at one point in time that I heard that he was either from over somewhere over yonder, but like right around like Switzerland, Netherlands, somewhere around there.
born and raised in Los Angeles.
Born and raised in Los Angeles. So see, I was completely wrong about that. But in either case, so I may have been wrong about his birthplace there, but I am not wrong about him being a talented musician.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you're
where it's
bang on there.
where it's at was definitely kind of like his breakthrough song here, and that was a good one. And you know, there were more songs to follow. So I kind of feel that with How I Feel by JAWBERRY, maybe their breakout song. So good luck to you in the future with your music. Loved it. It's definitely a top contender for the top three, as we've been talking about, of the show so far. And but you know, I've noticed that the last 2 or 3 episodes have been going in that direction, where we really listen to a banger of a track that starts off with that phrase, is that this is a definite contender for the top 3. So love it. Keep it up. And looking forward to hearing you more. I rounded it up to a nice 100 fire there, and I did save that song for myself, and I did follow JAWBERRY as well. And if you like JAWBERRY, then do hop onto the video description below and check out the links, so that way you can find JAWBERRY and get that song on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever your preferred media is. And let us know if our top 3 in the comments section below. Let us know if our top 3 can, you know, coincides with your top 3 as we end the show later on. So moving on to track 2, Maggie-Rose, Tomorrow 17.
Indeed. Maggie-Rose is a solo female artist from Australia. So she's in Australia. We don't know a great deal because it doesn't say about her influences on here, or any of her profile or anything. You know, it sort of doesn't talk about her. So I can just tell you the comments we've had on this song, Tomorrow 17, are cool and like that. Nice beat, lit, nice stuff, great voice, such a sweet voice. So like the vibrato and passion in your voice. This is dope. Love the title, great idea and finalization. So, well, that's so different from the others, but still amazing. So this one, bit of a quirky track, and well, I just hope you two are going to like this as much as you like the first one.
Well, Carl, your introduction of the song was definitely fire and dope. So let's listen to Maggie-Rose, Tomorrow 17.
Tomorrow 17, when the people get mean and your worn clothes get smaller and you're just a year older, now it's all a memory. Tomorrow 17, when the people get mean and your worn clothes get smaller and you're just a year older, but you're closer to your dreams. Tomorrow 17, when they ask you what you're doing and you tell them it's confusing, you don't know which path you're choosing, and they say you're disappointing. Tomorrow 17, and when the stars start to fall and there's nothing that'll save us at all, and when you take on defeat but the world lands at your feet, you know it's bittersweet. When tomorrow 17, when you're in the movie screen and the people are watching and the clock won't stop talking and there's nothing left unseen. Tomorrow 17, when you start to feel you're drowning, alcohol is still forbidden and you're no longer a kid and life's about to begin. Tomorrow 17.
Tomorrow 17 by Maggie-Rose. Smart Monkey.
Another good song. Another good song. Very simple, but a very beautiful song. I really liked this one because her vocals are beautiful. They really are. And they're just, note perfect. And the innocence of the song and this coming of age song and the lyrics are so beautifully written. And then to top it all, they got this really nice, very punchy played piano, very specific about how it's being played. And then this almost equally as poignant violin that comes in and just adds its emotion to it. And yet at the same time, still keeps this track very simple, very stripped back. And it's all about the lyrics and it's all about the song. So I really, really, really enjoyed this. It's short, it's simple, but very powerful, very clever. And I could definitely see this being on a coming of age movie, on a Netflix film, a very quirky sort of film. But this song would just sit there beautifully. And it's really good and really quite talented, if I was honest. So I love this one.
All right, Carlos Fandango.
Right, what can I say? Well, this definitely pops out from and stands out from the crowd immediately. It leaps out at you because it sounds different to everything else that you hear, and even on slaps or the charts or whatever. But it's quirky song, great vocals, and everybody's saying on the comments, sweet vocals, nice vocals. But it's a unique sounding vocal, but she's got a lovely tone to her voice as well. Wonderful song. The lyrics are, as Rob says, it's a great coming of age song with nice little touches and a well observed song, and it's up there with the sort of the potential talent of the likes of Joni Mitchell for observation or Randy Newman for the quirkiness and sort of angle side of the song, but I've written it as a stage show type of West End tune or something, or Broadway tune, Disney film or film in general, like Rob says, coming of age film. Love the piano, but the violin trills with the vibrato are just so nice, the way they're placed and everything. It's great. I think my talent diviner going crazy, pointing at the screen, I think this is a real potential star in the making, and she's got some serious. If she writes songs of this standard at such a young age, she's got huge potential. And I really have got high hopes. I really want us to hear more, and I wanted to keep pumping the songs out so we can, put them on the show, because I'm sure they're going to be of this kind of high standard.
Yeah, oddly enough, I didn't want to draw this comparison in too much, but when you think about Victoria Wood, who was a comedian, and she would do these incredibly powerful piano songs that were so well regarded as a part of her live show, and it was as much about the musical content and the talent of Victoria Wood, how she would construct these songs and play them. And I didn't want to do that necessarily because obviously that was a comedy act, and it would have comedy lyrics, and this isn't. This is very much a very heartfelt song about the coming of age and things like that, but it has that power to just be there, that they can be playing almost solo on a stage with a piano and maybe a simple violinist just to the side, and it would just be a very, very powerful moment. It's just a really clever and very talented song.
So did we say Maggie-Rose was from Australia?
Correct, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. So another Australian artist that I have in mind here is Lenka. Do we all know who Lenka is?
I don't think I've heard. How are you spelling that?
Lenka.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It sounds familiar.
So Lenka, back in the day, I think she was pretty young as well. I think when she released the so Microsoft had contracted her to do the Windows 8 or 2010 version, and she had that song which was like, oh, oh, I want to be everything at once. Right, and Lenka actually comes from a musical background, family and everything like that. But so Maggie-Rose reminded me of Lenka for the comparison to a kind of like a mainstream artist that I'm going to get here. So here's the thing. I think she has a great voice with huge potential. The lyrics were super clever. I think that the production could use a little bit more work. Because kind of like to Rob's point is, when you're hearing that piano going, it's very specific, and it's a bit overpowering. It almost does sound like it's going to be like a comedy act. But it turns into something more with the lyrics coupled with her voice once again. So I just honestly think that just a little bit more on the production side, equalization, automation, synchronizing. And I don't know if you guys picked up on this or not, but I think the vocals were all done in one take because you kind of like had that tongue click, like kind of like catching your breath kind of like thing going on, right? So that kind of thing can be cut out very easily. So that would be my only critique there, would be to get a little bit more into the production side of things here. And I think that this song could really, really, really be a hit, and could be definitely, even as it stands now, could be a very, very powerful kind of like engine to propel a career that's going to go way further. So using Maya Clar's as an example, the very first song that I had listened to from Maya Clar's that Carl had put on the show was Sick of It, which had that kind of like Billie Eilish theme to it and everything like that. But if you hang around Maya's Instagram and check out the stuff that she posts, she's usually playing a ukulele, singing something, just kind of like maybe getting ideas into her head and everything like that. So I do think that Maya is a pop star in the making, and I do think that Maggie-Rose is a pop star in the making to the effect that, let's say, that Lenka is. So very nicely done. I'm just going to say just focus a little bit more on production, because I do think that the production will make this even better than what it is today. Not saying it's a bad song. It's just, again, little fine tuning.
So I'm torn on that. I quite liked it as it was, and I think it's just a matter of taste. I just like that kind of simplicity and rawness of it, and maybe even those little vocal quirks that were in the recording of it. I think it's like a particular sort of style that she was reproducing there. But I take your point, Tom. I know what you're saying.
The only reason that I bring up the critique that I do, Rob, is because a radio station will not pick this up the way that it is.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I give the critique that I give.
Yeah. No, I can see there's always going to be two camps on this sort of style of music, and it's interesting because I think it has a rawness and pureness to it the way it is, and then like you say, if you want to make it more sort of commercially viable, you're going to produce it more. And I think it's probably a song of two camps that I would like to hear both. Ultimately, you could well be right. I think a nice polished version would be interesting to hear how it sounds, and then this sort of live almost version. This is almost a recording of how you would envisage her if she was live on stage playing the piano with somebody there.
Absolutely.
Which is why I said it sounds a bit like a West End show.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Because this is almost like a sort of recording from West End show, or you're going to see it live and it's there, it's spontaneous, it's happening right in front of you. So I'd be curious to hear a sort of slickly produced,
warmer version, almost, isn't it? If you were in the studio,
I'd like this version more. I really do. Although I think a properly produced version would be the one that they'd use on an advert. Again, it can be used with advertising easily. This one,
and in a film, wouldn't it? It'd be likely to be a warmer, more professionally mixed down version in the film. Yeah.
Again, this is why I give the critique the way that I do, right? Because, like I said, I like the song, and if we're going to compare it to, if it's going to make it onto our Spotify playlist, well, yes, it is. But I would like to see the song go further. And so, these little tweaks here and there can help make the song go further. And it can be in adverts, and it can be in movies, and it can be in all over. You can leave it the way that it is. The structure of it is fine. It's absolutely fine. Just a little bit fine tweaking to, get the record execs maybe to open up their ears and open up their minds a little bit to understand that this is great music coming out of here. That's it. That's all I got.
Fair enough.
So all I got, and Carl's got the Purple Bowl of Destiny.
I have indeed. The bowl is here, ready and waiting, trembling with anticipation, excitement, as I'm sure the audience are, as to what categories are going to be this week. We had dance last week, and we've had punk a few times recently. We had Rob chooses recently. What's it going to be? Who's calling it?
We had the bowl with the bra on. I'm quite disappointed that the bowl's really quite understated tonight.
Yeah, I think naked.
It's naked. Oh, maybe I should be looking at it in a different way. Dirty bowl.
So I'm just whisper into the background.
I'm going to stir really fast this time without them all flying out. But you call it when you want it, and we'll just see if a fast stir and a mix. I'm going to go aggressively. Look away. You call it.
No, we love
you.
Watch
your wrist gets
I
tired.
think you're paying for this.
Okay.
I think that wrist will keep going for a long time if I know you go.
Okay, go.
Right. Okay. Right. Oh.
You can't say that. You can't be disappointed about what you picked.
Oh, I can be.
Come on, let's hear it.
Okay. It's rap and hip hop.
Oh
Well, I'm going to console myself. I've got this universally challenged. This is basically quiz contestants say the funniest things. So these like things like Family Feud, which is Family Fortunes, I think, in the UK, and Family Feud in America. Name one thing you put on a pizza. Contestant said rice.
Rice. Okay.
Right, Tom.
Need to do a quick timeout to see what the consensus is between you fellas. Are we going to do hip hop or rap?
I think hip hop's normally slightly more interesting and slightly more musical, but that's my vote. Hip hop.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree with that.
Okay. Hip hop it is.
Host said, name something you make out of flowers. Contestant said, cookies. Name something you put cinnamon on. Butter. Name something you squeeze. Peanut butter. Name something you wouldn't want to find the police to find in the back trunk of your car. Pickles. Oh dear. How about this one? Name a fast food restaurant with somebody's first or last name in the title. Burger King. Name a food people give as a gift. Lasagna. Name something besides jelly that comes in flavors. Jelly. Name something that comes in pairs. Bananas.
I love it. These are brilliant.
Which Joseph founded a famous chain of tea shops. The first one opening in London in 1894. Goebbels. Oh, dear.
They're brilliant.
Oh, they're great. This is just such a good book, though. Yeah. One more. Name a farm animal that the farmer may grow fond of, so he might not want to eat it. Dog.
There's a whole book of them.
There's tons on this, all different subjects. That's a food subject. There's you can just randomly open any page and they're just
that's brilliant.
Genius.
That is brilliant.
It's just name something that comes in 12s. Dozens. Dozens. Name something that dries up as it gets old. Name something that dries up as it gets old. Water.
I was going to say something way different.
Yeah.
They are good. They are really good.
Oh, that's so good. There's so many funny answers in there. Really good. Yeah.
All right, so we got Young G9 as our Purple Bowl Destiny choice here. There was actually a different new one, but the song cut off at the halfway point with no further uploads. So this is the second one in the brand new category. So reposted just 39 minutes ago, has 28 plays, 1 save, and 11 fires thus far, which is kind of weird for a hip hop song on Slaps. Usually they tend to have a lot of fire. Usually. So Young G9, also known as at Cash Addict Gang, is from Gautier, oh my God, now I can't even remember if MS is Missouri or Mississippi. MO is Missouri, Mississippi. So it is Gautier, Mississippi, in the United States. 188 followers, 2,341 plays overall, with 57 tracks. This is going to be presenting screen now. The choice by the Purple Bowl of Destiny, Young G9 with God's Arms, also available on Spotify and Apple Music. There you go. Gotta thank the man up. I'm wrapped in God's arms. Let's check it out.
Just ain't happening. With the block, we made it bounce like elastic. Breaking down the pressure, you can smell it through the plastic. I see madness going through some tragic shit. Dreaming that we make it, nigga, you can have this shit. I fell in love, but she taught me how to trust no bitch. The only thing that's on my mind is see my family rich. I'm wrapped in God arms. I was drinking on that lean in the early morning. Put my brothers on my back and tell my sister that I gotta live. I think she got a smile that remind me of a mama. Yes, Lord. God keep blessing my hard working mama. Talking crazy, counting money with my eyes closed. I'ma talk to the angels, send them halos, not high. I'm wrapped in God arms. 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 Just wanna thank you for so much. I'm wrapped in God arms. Just to feel your grace. I'm wrapped in God arms. I'm wrapped in God arms. Hey, God arms. Hey, still dreaming the day when I can make it happen. From a pup, never just thought of rap. Hey, drop a hood classic. I know a little magic way we make them packs disappear. Shit, you couldn't imagine. Shit, you couldn't even fathom. All the shit that I'm putting down. All the thing you be putting down is shit you should put down. I give them a mic round. I'm talking beat the beat until I'm up in the ear. Then I'ma bite down. They say you get greater later. How about right now? Pop said, boy, you hot, bring the stars out. This real life ain't no way in hell just for clout. I've been dropping real pain. What they talking about? See, when I rap is a difference. I know the Lord of my witness. Them hard times we was getting. I pray to God on these missions. I got some day ones went against the odds. I knew them niggas fraud. Got my vision clear. Gotta thank God. I'm wrapped in God arms. 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 Yeah. Now run that back one more time.
All right, that was Young G9 with God's Arms. And since Carlos Fandango is our resident hip hop and rap expert, we shall go with Carlos Fandango. Carlos, what do you think?
I just don't know what to say because I was thinking, oh, okay, God's Arms is probably going to be one of those sort of Christian hip hop rap ones. No swearing, and it wasn't really swearing. Well, it wasn't, but it was using lots of N words. So it's like, I'm out, I'm done. That's me out. It's either okay or it's not. You know, they've got to establish this. It's okay for everyone to say it, or is it not? And as far as I'm concerned, it's not a nice word. So I sort of switch off then immediately. Okay, the sentiment's all right. You know, it's wrapped in God's arms, and that's good. Don't know what to say about it, really. Honestly, I just best hand over to you guys because I've got very little to say about it.
Martin Monkey.
Right. Okay. So I had similar at first. At first, we started to hear some of the lyrics coming out, and I was going, "Oh, here we go. It's getting a bit gangster. It's going to be unpleasant." But actually, as it progressed, it was a fairly solid track, if I was honest. As a hip hop track goes, it had a lot going on for it, and I thought musically and the way it had been produced, it's very much in that commercial vein of hip hop, which arguably for young G9, that's probably where he wants to be, if I was honest. And I can see this appealing to a generation of hip hop fans. I think it has all of the elements to make it, a pretty good, solid, quite well liked track. Is it my particular pick? Not really. I'm very similar. I'm not a big fan of those words when they drop, but I also understand that it's done in a way that is in that circle. So I think it has something about it, and I think actually as that kind of track goes, and we've heard some pretty bad ones, this one is up there as one of the better ones, actually, in the way it's been produced, in the way that it's been thought out as a hip hop track. It's actually quite solid and quite commercial. So I can't do anything more, but actually say it's quite a good track, actually. Personally.
Okay. I don't know if it would be commercial. I don't know. The thing that I like about it is, as far as the beat's concerned, right, it has this nice kind of like East Coast beat to it. When you think back to the days of like Notorious B.I.G. or something, then or I don't even know what he calls himself these days. He's Sean Combs. He was Puff Daddy. Then he went to P. Diddy, and then he switched his name a couple of more times. So I don't know where he's at these days. But Sean Combs, otherwise known as Puff Daddy, when I was listening to him, definitely had that kind of like East Coast flavor to him. So the beat definitely coincides with a bit of the that East Coast thing, right? But I do have to share a bit of a sentiment with Carl here, is when I see a song that's called God's Arms, and it's wrapped in God's arms. Got to thank the man upstairs, and all of a sudden, we're dropping N-bombs and everything like that. It seems counterproductive. However, agreeing with Rob, I do see that it does have obviously an artistic standpoint to it. At least it wasn't like killing an N-word and drugs and N-word and all this kind of stuff going on. There was a bit of an uplifting message there. So I guess there's a little bit of redemption in the song, as far as I'm concerned with that fact there. But I just don't know that it would make the playlist, as for that matter. But I think a little bit more could have been done with the production as well. There's definitely high pitches, low pitches, kind of like little breaks in between, the automation of the song and the overall setup of it. So I think that needs some of the work. But I would say that with this one, ultimately, maybe choose a lane. Either we're going to go the God route, or we're going to go the hip hop route, or maybe the gangster rap kind of, or gangster hip hop route with it, right? Because I don't think that the two really mesh well together.
So I don't know about you, but so I've always had this age-old problem where I don't necessarily hear the lyrics when I hear music. My son always laughs at me because he'll go, "Oh, what do you think of that song?" And I'll go, "Yeah, it's really, really, really good." And they go, "Oh, can you sing along to it?" And I go, "No." I hear it as music. But I don't know if anyone actually heard the lyrics in their entirety. And the only reason I ask is perhaps there is a relevance that if you're into that gangster scene and you want to escape and you are searching for God or something to help you there. Maybe that's what it was about. I can't say I heard it because I don't necessarily hear the lyrics on my first take of when I listen to music, because this is the first time I've heard this one, because it's obviously Purple Bowl. But if I was perhaps to hear the lyrics more seriously, maybe I might have interpreted something from them, but I don't know if you guys did. But
well, I know that the message, the sentiment there, that, yeah, I'm wrapped in God's arms. Well, actually, he actually sings God arms, but I think that part of it is actually quite hooky. Going to what Rob said earlier, it's actually quite hooky and memorable. So that's a good redeeming feature, I would say, about it. I'm wrapped in God's arms, and so you've got that. That's easy to latch onto. So, like, yeah, any hook should be. So, so I think, you know, the sentiments there is just it's a bit of confusing. It's a bit like a sort of mixed signal sort of thing, you know, because you've got a bit of the unsavory sort of side of rap's world of language and the N-bombs, as we said, and yet you've got, you know, it's a sentiment is about, yeah, God's the positivity of having God in your life, you know, for that particular guy. So it's definitely a positive message overall. So,
but I think this song is for that generation and that sort of culture of people, and I think that, you know, there is, you know, that's where we might be sort of alien to it, but I do feel that this would sit on that sort of playlist for that sort of generation of music. They really, you know, I think there are times where that resonates more. You know, we're going to be a bit outside of that because we're not living in that world. And I would love to know now, as we're talking about this, whether this one was a song that was sort of saying, you know, I do want to reach out to God, but I'm in this kind of environment that makes it very difficult. I don't know. I would love to hear more of it now. Now we're talking about it. I want to understand the lyrics.
Yes, I do think that that's the general message. The again, the critique would be is I don't think that if you were to label this as, let's say, Christian hip hop, for example.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. No, I understand that, but it may be escapism.
It would imply maybe escapism, right? So, yeah. Something like that. So I'm just trying to think of where the balance really is here, right? So I don't think that there is too much balance, but in either case, young G9, the underground sound does wish you a ton of luck in your musical endeavor, and take our criticism and our critique for what it is. And by all means, once again, folks, if you like G9, hop in the comments below. Let us know that you like G9. Hop into the video description below. Find that link to G9's song right there, and check it out and throw it on your personal playlist if that's the kind of stuff that you're into. And you know, once again, we offer our critique the way that it is. It's not meant to be destructive, I should say. It is meant to be constructive at all times. So please do keep that in mind. And so now moving on to our regularly scheduled track number 4, AD̅M with The Eternal March. And I think I do recall this spelling of AD̅M one time before, whether I heard it or whether we had it on the show. Have we had this on the show before, Carl?
I don't feel like we have. However, let's just have a quick look. No, it's only the one track uploaded so far, I believe. I think
it's upside down V, isn't it? I've seen that somewhere before.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so stylistically, it's, the second A is like an upside down V. So sort of stylized in a cool way. But no, it's the first track that's been uploaded by AD̅M. It says, "Hi, my name is AD̅M, and I'm a 16-year-old composer. I've been composing for 3 years, starting on GarageBand, and over time used different software. Eventually ended up on FL Studio. Love composing with acoustic instruments, especially those from around the globe. So mainly doing contemporary classical, orchestral and classical. But the influences include Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, Hans Zimmer and Dave Kerr. So range of influences. This one's called The Eternal March, and I can tell you there's very few comments on there, just myself and another, which said, the other person said, actually it was Gökhan Chizelli. I think we might have had him on the show. So great sound, he said. So, and I said a solid composition. So I thought this was good because this is our spot 4, which is often the one where we have the instrumental or something a bit different or classical. See what you think. This one's called The Eternal March, and it's in the classical category.
The Eternal March from AD̅M here, just says classical. Surprised that there's no other links here, and there's actually a third comment, which is more soundtrack, I think. Yeah, but 24 plays, 2 saves, 6 fires in 1 month. So I guess I'm gonna think not bad stats for classical song, because classical songs usually don't do all that well on slaps here in general. But at 2 minutes and 2 seconds, 2 minutes and 2.5 seconds, let's say, classical, The Eternal March by AD̅M. Let's check it out. Alrighty. I don't know why it is. Every time I present the screen and then I turn it off, you guys switch places.
We do it. We literally. I whiz up to London.
Yeah.
And Carl whizzes down
Carl
to
like
Cornwall.
and Carl like calls us to Cornwall. Yeah.
Very, very quick.
So let's see. Well, I can't make fun of either one of you for this kind of song here. So Carlos Fandango, I mean, we kind of know your thoughts here. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so I think it feels to me like a sort of the kind of post-battle heroic conclusion to an epic journey or battle or something. You know, something's happened, and it's the end concluding section of a film where the hero returns or whatever it might be. So something perhaps from movies like Alexander or 300, that kind of thing, perhaps used in gaming would be a good application for it, or soundtrack of sorts. But a lot of these compositions, I've all the great film composers of the day use this. That's sort of what I describe as the stomp drum sound. Yeah, where they've got this sort of, not quite a dustbin lid, but you know, that kind of all that kind of thing. So I do think those drum sounds, because they're in every single pack that you get for movie composers and classical compositions and things now, it's overused, but it does sound quite epic all the same, and it's what's being used. So when you take that into account, the fact that this is a 16-year-old budding artist and composer, then it's pretty cool. You know, it's a good composition, solid composition, and I would like to openly, you know, just encourage AD̅M to, you know, keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing, just keep putting out tunes, new ones all the time. You'll get some dud ones, you'll get some really good ones, but you'll just get better and better and better and better and more competent as you go, because this shows understanding and competency at a very young age. So I think there's great things ahead for AD̅M, and should definitely continue with what he's doing and try different fields of classical as well. We had James Goldie on here a few shows back with that sort of very beautiful, you remember that show where we had the Purple Bowl chose a classical one that was all over the shop and higgledy-piggledy, and then we had James Goldie just straight after it with a beautiful composition, sort of classical with a few seagulls and things in the background. It was just wonderful. So try different things. I'll go back a few shows if you can, AD̅M. Have a listen to James Goldie's track and the Song of the Sea or something like that it was called. And just experiment. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really good.
Well, competency is still one of the things that we're dealing with on this show as well. So smart monkey.
Yeah, so I've got strong feelings about this one because of the age, if I was honest. This is AD̅M. He's 16 years old. He's probably putting the feelers out there, trying to understand and get the feel of the music side of things. And I think what he's done here is pulled off a really good track. He's pulled off this is trailer music. This is epic trailer music. Those drums are part and parcel of that style of music. If you didn't have those drums, it probably wouldn't fit in that genre. So I think, I totally get where he's coming from. I think he's a fan of that sort of thing. And I'm a huge fan of that sort of thing. Two Steps from Hell, Audio Machine, Globus, absolutely massive fan of them. And I would love to go and see them live. And when you've got a young lad at 16-year-old who's starting to pull together these orchestral elements, now it could be a sound pack, it could be a kit, and arguably then they're almost constructed themselves by you just pulling these samples together. But even then, for a young lad of 16-year-old to be pulling that together and taking that interest in it, all I can do is encourage AD̅M to keep on going, because this is not a bad track. The only thing in my mind it needs some mix down. It's very overblown, and he's not necessarily going to understand that at 16-year-old to get that mix right, that mastering right. Has he pulled the elements together right? Yes, he has. It's a good, solid orchestral piece of music. It could sit on a game, a movie, and at 16-year-old to be sort of throwing out a piece of music like that, I think that's an admirable place to be. And it takes me back to when I was 16-year-old and I was looking and exploring music, really unsure of myself, playing with elements, playing with sound packs. If anyone said to me, you shouldn't be doing that because you're not, you don't understand orchestras and things like that, it would have put me off and I would have shut myself down. I'm going to do totally opposite. And I'm just going to pat AD̅M on the back. I'm going to say, you've done an amazing job. You keep on going. And I look at my son, who's 14, he's playing the piano, and I encourage him in exactly the same way. And I watch every year that he develops, and they are the budding musicians of the future. So AD̅M, keep on going, because you are doing a solid job. Proud of you. Nice work.
I agree. This definitely had this kind of like vibe to me, like the way that Carl's been talking about it. It's just like if you picture the well, I don't want to say Braveheart or Gladiator or anything like that, because those kind of like ended tragically. But this song definitely has that aura of victory, doesn't it? Like we did it. We conquered all the evil in the world, and we completely destroyed it. And and now we're here, and now we're celebrating. And it really had that very celebratory vibe to it, very victorious vibe to it. And even if it was a sound pack, then I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Most 16-year-olds these days are worried about looking at their phone and don't mean to cast any kind of like negative throwback at anyone here, but I mean, this is really what's going down in the world today. Instead of looking at the phone and liking and sharing comments, this young gentleman here is taking portions of music, putting them together and really, really, really bringing them to life and expressing himself creatively. So much props to that fact alone. The other fact is obviously going to be that the song, while it does suffer a little bit in the mixing mastering departments, you learn those things as they go on, and you learn certain terms as they go on as well. You learn what bouncing actually means. You learn what automation actually means. You learn what the mix down actually is. You learn what the mastering actually is, right? So you learn these things like as you progress. And believe me, at 16, if you're doing what you're doing right now, then you will catch on very quickly. So very nice job to AD̅M right there with the Eternal March. Yes, sir. Carlos.
If I may also add for AD̅M, seconding what Rob and Tom have both said, it's also I would add to that become familiar, AD̅M, with just if you're going down the cinematic and movie route, become familiar with the language of cinema as well, and the cues and things, and the great, you're probably doing it already, but the great composers of cinema, going back to Eric Korngold in the 1930s and 40s, all those kind of things, and Max Steiner, as well as the modern composers like John Williams, James Horner. Check out also Neil Brand. He's on YouTube a little bit, but check out his documentaries, The Sound of Cinema, Music That Made the Movies, because Neil Brand is just awesome, and he goes into all the sort of the famous films and movies, and all the sort of why the Robin Hood soundtrack is so good, and all those kind of things, and the tracks that influenced John Williams' classic tracks. So and become familiar with that, and just keep absorbing all that, because it will come out in your music. I know it does with me. The more music I hear, it just comes out in other songs, because it will go through in your head. You will sleep at night, wake up with a new tune in your head. You don't know where it's come from, but it's there, So and if you've got that kind of talent, you just need to keep just letting it flow, and just keep up with the ideas. Also, when I mentioned about other sort of artists, obviously the classical composers as well, because they've influenced the movie composers. So I'd say Wagner is, Beethoven's fantastic for just an inspirational cinematic music. Wagner is very cinematic as well, and I would say listen to things like Tristan and Isolde, the Prelude, because it just, music comes out of thin air from silence, and it just comes into being. So definitely just absorb as much as you can, and it'll come out in your music, and you'll gift the world with your wonderful music. Honestly, you will.
I will, Carl. I will, on the latter portion of your comment there, I will agree and disagree with you at the same time, because I think that AD̅M, if you are trying to break into a commercial sector where you're going to be composing movie music, things of that nature, then I would say watch a bit more movies, and maybe take on some visual cues, as it were, as opposed to going back and listening, because listen, nobody's going to recreate the Ninth Symphony. It's just not going to happen. But the thing is I think that there's two different schools of thought when you're listening to the classical music, and when you're actually listening to the cinematic music, right? So I would say go for more visual cues, if that is the goal with this one, as opposed to mixing it with the my goodness, the classical music of the day. But nothing wrong with listening to classical music as well. Just whichever your inspiration is. If you're trying to create a classical masterpiece, which you want to be, let's just say, mainly audio, then by all means, I think to revisit the older composers. But if you're kind of like going for more visual film kind of like type elements, then I would say go to films, because films aren't recorded in a specific sequence, right? You don't necessarily have a 4/4. You don't necessarily have an 8/8. You don't necessarily have a 6/13, or whatever the case may be for time signatures and measures. Movies work very, very differently than music actually progresses. So I would say work on some visual cues if this is the way that you're going to go. And I think that's where I'm going to lead that one at. But I do still think that you are on the right track with doing whatever it is that you're doing, because if this is, that was the first song uploaded, you had to say, Carl, yes?
Sorry?
Yes.
That was the first song uploaded, you had said yes?
Yes, indeed. That was his first song.
So
Yeah.
for as a first song uploaded, and I didn't see any any links back to Spotify or YouTube or anything like that. So it may seem like it is a slaps thing unless we know of different tracks there. But do visit the video description below. Find the slaps links to AD̅M right there if you did enjoy that song. We usually tend to have one classical piece of music per episode. Carl's usually been pretty good about producing the episode very fairly here, so that way we kind of like get to touch on all genres here. So do visit the video description below. Find the link to AD̅M there and all the rest of the artists. Do click them, please. Go show some love. Drop a little bit of fire, drop a comment, drop a follow, whatever the case may be. Just show some support for the underground and indie musicians here. And I don't even want to say this. Oh, I thought we were going to do that like.
Oh, is it before the break?
I thought we were going to do it like before the break in Purple Bowl Destiny time.
Well, we've had the bowl.
Yeah. And you told
But if it's 2 rounds of 2 questions, you want one before the first one a second. I just thought now would be better before the break. If you like, before song 5, just as a little break.
Let's
He's
do
got
it.
Christmas the glasses on. Look.
Yeah, I know.
How pretentious is this man? I have my Christmas the glasses on. I'm more intelligent than you. I'm going to put my glasses on.
So welcome to Call My Bluff. Ding,
I'm
ding.
putting my glasses on.
Ding,
I
ding,
get
ding.
more intelligent if I do this.
You're going to out-intelligent me. You both
Here we
got
go.
glasses now.
Here we go. Right. Ooh,
Let's do it.
Yeah, you got to do this though. Down. Look down your nose at me.
Let's do it.
How's that? Is that good?
Bit demented. So ding 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 ding. That's the old theme tune for Call My Bluff. Sort of. So the first word of 2 for this round is first one is ringman. So RING-MAN, and it's either A bare knuckle boxer, ringman, B a greyhound trainer, or C a bookmaker. So that's so ringman, a bare knuckle boxer, B a greyhound trainer, or C a bookmaker. So what do you reckon? A, B, or C?
May I please have the origin of the word?
It doesn't tell
Here
you.
we go. Here we go.
No, this one's
You'll have to guess it because it doesn't say the origin.
this one's a bit tricky, right? Because it's a bit of a double entendre, as it were. It definitely could be. I definitely think that it's between A and C, but since it's a game, then I will have to say C.
So you're going to C. What about you, Rob?
Well, I was thinking more between A and B. I want to go. It's obvious, isn't it? It sounds too obvious, but I'm going to go A.
You're going for A, and audience out there at home, B. Okay, you're going for B. So the actual answer is C. Tom is correct.
Ah,
I'm going to write this down this time. We're going to keep a log of this. So
what a
Tom,
prick.
1, Rob, nil, audience.
You saw those critical thinking classes I
Yeah.
took.
Right. Round 2, second word.
Okay.
Which one was I going for here? Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. This is quite. Well, you can choose this word actually if you want, but it's no. We go with this one. Mumpsimus. So M-U-M, mum, P-S-I-M-U-S. Mumpsimus. Is it A, the common name for the prayer for the monarch in the Anglican prayer book? B, a typeset or handwritten mistake that is clearly wrong, but which is still accepted by some pedantic scholars?
That's got to be it.
Or C, the experience of accidentally bumping into someone you're trying to avoid. Coined by Mark Twain. So is Mumpsimus the common name for the common name for the prayer for the monarch in the Anglican prayer book? B, a typeset or handwritten mistake that is clearly wrong, but which is still accepted by some pedantic scholars? Or C, the experience of accidentally bumping into someone you're trying to avoid? Coined by Mark Twain, who did coin quite a few phrases, in fact.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so did Shakespeare. But just going by the last two syllables, Simus. Simus, I'm going to say that it's B.
Going for B, Tom. What about you, Rob?
I'm going to C, because mumps are, you know, everyone sort of passes mumps around by bumping into each other and then like bumping their tongues into each other. So I'm going to go with...
Okay, you're going for C. And audience? Oh, you're going with Tom on this one. B. Okay. It's actually B. It's a typeset or handwritten mistake that's clearly wrong, but which is still accepted by some pedantic scholars.
It's pedantic.
Yeah, pedantic. That's how he knew about it.
So audience, you're beating Rob at the moment, just because I said so.
Keep on beating me, audience.
We'll come back to this in the second half, just before song 10.
Rob likes when you beat him, just by the way. So.
Baby.
In more ways than one, we should say also. So,
See, that's how I got the wrong idea of mumps, by bumping into each other with your tongues.
Yes, those are called the mumps, but you know, you must listen.
Mumpsy, whatever.
So there's it's a Simus. So there's something deeply hidden in behind it. So that way that we just went with it, right? So there you go, 2 for 2 today, 100%, folks. That's right. So now I'm thinking that this is, since I see the name of it,
I did.
This is going to be Stan Butler with "Down in the Country."
Yeah, but it's spelled with a K, so it's okay to say it. And Rob, fill your boots.
Country.
Feel better now?
Rob didn't even want to say it. He said, Southern Soul Line Dance Family Reunion Song. Looks like it's only available on, from Slaps here. It shows that it's only otherly available on YouTube. Let's check it out. Stan Butler with "Down in the Country."
Country.
It's very close. Very close.
Down in the country.
Down in the country.
Down in the country. Down in the country. Down in the country. We love to party in the country. They say we like high fish and some are good cold beer. They say y'all people love to party down here. Down here. They say you like collard greens and some stupid gear. They say y'all people love to party down here. Down here. You can find a good jump everywhere you go. Well, in the country down along the road. Y'all don't know what in the hell y'all come to do. They got a gin and juice and stunk of liquor too. Down in the country.
You come to have a good time.
Down in the country. Down in the country.
Having a party.
We love to party in the country. Well, I just got off work and I'm mighty tired, but I wouldn't country.
Come on, ladies, two steps. If you work hard now, ladies, two steps. If you do your job now, make you feel good. You love it. Fellas, where you at? Down in the country, down in the country, y'all. Down in the country. We love to party in the country.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say yowza, yowza, yowza down in the country. Since we have our biggest country fan here on the show with us, Smart Monkey. Eee.
Well, what a track. That was a damn good piece of country music there going on. I love that. I love that. Is it really country? I would say it's more gospel blues myself, but I really, yeah, it's there's a lot going on in this track to like. It's so well produced. It's so well constructed. It's such a pro sounding track. The vocals, I mean, Stan's vocals are amazing. And I've heard other of his tracks. He's a bit of a star in the making, to be honest. But then when you add those backing vocals, that gospel feel to it, there's so much going on here. It is such a solid sounding track. It is, well, it's to me, it's one of the more pro ones that I've heard for such a long time. And how Stan is not signed up on a label, yes, I just can't understand, because it has everything. It's well produced, it's well constructed, it's well sung. It's the the music is all everything's there. Everything's there. It's a solid track. This should be out there. It's a good one.
Agreed, and agreed again, Carlos Fandango.
How did you like being down in the country? So basically, yeah, I like Stan Butler. You look at some of these other song titles, and it's My Deaf Brother, Tootie Boot, what a great title, Cowboy Ride, Turkey Walk, I Let a Woman Take My Woman. So, it's going to be fun songs, and this one's no exception. This is a good groove, great vibe, hooky all the way through, good sing-along track. So, there's bits to sing along with the male vocals, bits to sing along with the female vocals. You've got sort of Macy Gray type of vocal going on in the background. Like Rob says, with the sort of gospel sound, nice guitar licks all the way through. But yeah, lots of details. It's infectious and I love it. It's a really good song. The more I hear it, the more I like it.
For the first time hearing it without knowing anything else about Stan here, I gotta say that this is absolutely friggin' fantastic, as it were. Listen, this gave me an Isley Brothers kind of feel. It definitely gave me a BB King kind of feel to it, right? It is definitely more gospel than anything else. I should say that Stan's vocals gave me an Isley Brothers and BB King kind of feel to their vocals, right? Because the supporting vocals gave me the effect of Tina Turner, kind of like, especially when you went to when you got down to the nitty gritty of it. So everything here works. The bass is on par, the vocals are on par, everything is just kind of like on par. And so this is Down in the Country. It's a Southern line dance music family reunion song. Did they compose this themselves? Did they do it in a homemade studio? Is this a family endeavor, right? If it is a family endeavor, that just makes the song even that much more fun to get, the family in on it to actually make the song. It's absolutely, I think one of the better pieces of music that we've had this evening, honestly. So I gotta say, just Stan, great job. I'm gonna listen to more of your stuff. I just left you like as many fires as I could without breaking my bank, and so and I definitely saved that song and I followed you as well. So I'll be checking out more of your work later on this evening or sometime during the week when I'm editing this showdown and everything like that. But yeah, I gotta say, it's just overall a really, really feel good vibe. Great piece of music and just utterly fun.
Very much so. I think you can. I think possibly for Rob, this might be a sort of very visual track because can you imagine, Rob, of a video, and Tom, a video for this and how it's going to look, because you can just sort of almost see how fun the video is going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. You could. There's so many conceptualizations that you could do with this, because again, if we're talking about a gospel song, that you could see like a nice church scene breaking out where everybody breaks out in a song and dance, right? If you're talking about everybody having the kind of like experience as the video description, or I'm sorry, not as the song description would suggest, which is the Southern Soul Line Dance Family Reunion, then you could definitely see the barbecue going on and everybody just coming together and having a really good time. So there's a multitude of possibilities.
We sort of talked about, like, on visual and movies.
Yeah.
Coen Brothers was the very first thing that sprung to mind, a Coen Brothers film, because they always do these kind of very quirky, and they can be very sort of very much the element or the theme of their movie could be down south and all of that kind of element. And the very first thing that sprung to mind as I heard this was Coen Brothers movie. But there you go.
It could have been for sure. One of my more favorite movies is Life. It's with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
Nope.
So it takes place back in a Prohibition era. So Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, they meet just by coincidence. Eddie Murphy's like this, smooth talking city boy, and Martin Lawrence is a banker, right? And they end up down in the country, and they get locked up for life for a crime that they didn't commit. And they're in this prison in, I think it's Alabama or Mississippi or whatever the case may be, right? So this is a song that I could even see there. You know what I mean? So it was a feel-good buddy film. From the way that I described it, it does it absolutely no justice. You absolutely must see it if you have not seen it. It's called Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. Great movie. That would be a great soundtrack to that movie. It's a very good production. Like I said, this could work in a multitude of ways. So yeah, just nice job. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from Stan Butler. And we're almost at that point here, folks. So please do visit the video description below. If you like Stan Butler, find that link. If you liked AD̅M, find that link. If you like whichever song that you liked, find that link. Go spread some love to these indie musicians here. And I think that we're going to start to do away with this. I'm going to do it anyway. Ready? Swish. We're gonna start to do away with it because we do have a direct submission.
Well, that's true. So we're going to have a sort of break. This is going to be a little intermission. We'll obviously listen to the track and comment on it afterwards. But this is kind of it's between 5 and 6. So what do we have to make up a new number, like Ficey?
I think you need to pull down the track that's coming on.
It's gonna be fix 5 and 6. Yeah, fix or Sive.
Sive. X I quite like because it's 5 and X.
So when you do the pen, you're going to draw down the track now from the side like that.
Oh yeah, you could do some visuals here. Yeah, all lots of transitions.
And you could be like, when you next finish,
like you don't have enough to edit it as well.
And you come up and you bring it back up again. You could be in your underpants going, "Oh, I forgot," and quickly pull it back down again.
I don't know. I don't know if anybody will like that. I'll tell you this.
Yeah, good point.
What we're going to do here is obviously the break will be completely seamless for you. We are going to go do our thing here, and when we come back, we will review this track as the official start to the second half of the show. I am DJ Exec. With me, as always, is Carlos Fandango and what?
Me? Well, I was just going to say, don't forget to introduce the song as well and who it is. I was just going to say, have we actually said who it is yet?
No, we haven't yet.
Are we going to? Because
No, I'm just going to leave it a fucking mystery.
Surprise.
That's what I thought you were going to do, because we normally do this as a sign-off, don't we?
Who was that? We could do it as a quiz number at the end and ask the audience who the hell it was, and then just not...
Guess the artist, new section.
It's an open book test because it would be in the video description below anyway. As
I
There we
know,
are.
but
It's good. I like it.
as
Yeah,
we're
but
going
it's-
on to our break here, I am DJ Exec. With me as always is Carlos Fandango and Smart Monkey. Together we are putting the S back into music.
So please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you like to hear.
Don't forget to click on the little bell so you get all the notifications of whenever Tom uploads any new videos. And I can't tell you how exciting that is to get those new videos through. It's just brilliant.
It absolutely is. And please do go check out Fandango's faves as well. And while we're on our break, what we're going to be checking out here is a song by Valentin called To You. And we'll be back to review this right after our break. Again, completely seamless to you. See you soon.
I should never have doubted your professionalism there, Tom.
You
I'm sorry. I'm
shouldn't.
so sorry.
You shouldn't. Thank you for being apologetic. All right, go listen to the song.
I like you a lot, and I want to find out more and more about you. That's what I'm going to do. I search all the side that I'm to see what you like. I'm teaching you like a story now, and finally I come down to you. In my mind there is only you, to you. My mind there is only you, to you. I've never felt what I feel for you. I never end as you see my love for you. Hey, what I want for me, I will look at you. I can't believe it's true, but I don't see you. In my mind there is only you, to you. To you. There is only you, to you.
Well, folks, we are back for our second half of the Underground Sound here, and we had just listened to Valentin's song right there, which was a direct submission, which is called "To You" from Valentin from Romania. There, thank you very much for that submission, gentlemen. Valentin, what'd you think?
Who's going first? Who wants to go first? Shall I?
One of
I mean,
us, Tom, help us out.
Well, right.
Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by his tail if he wants to. And Carlos Fandango.
Okay. Fandango, you are it. Right. So basically, okay, right. I like Valentin always comes up with interesting sound. What's wrong?
Get that out of your nose, Rob.
I don't know what he's doing there, or what it is actually. I'm trying to work out what it is. He's
I love the
He's not-
fact that I can be doing things out of shot and people just don't know what I'm doing, and you lot are laughing. I'm gonna play on that even more.
It makes just
It's because I'm sort of looking at my thing and then sort of my eyes start darting up and right.
get
So
that out of your nose, Rob.
with Valentin, you've always got interesting sounds. So interesting sort of synthesizer sounds and things. You've got the keyboard brass stabs that sound pretty cool. The slap bass in there as well. He does very funky and fun Europop disco dance sort of music. It's good production as always, but vibrant. Yeah, is his production style, I would say. And I think actually, because Valentin's voice isn't necessarily the strongest, most obvious vocal. So I would say it would be interesting to see also what the songs might sound like if Valentin had guest vocalists on. So, for instance, if he was the writer, composer, producer and focused on that area and had some guest vocalists, someone, for instance, if you imagine we had a few weeks back, we had the great track from Eddie Nolan called War. And if you imagine Eddie Nolan singing something on this, how would it sound? It would sound different. And I think it could be quite interesting, some female vocals, some male vocals, whatever. But I mean, I actually like Valentin's voice because it's quite a unique sort of thing. It is unique to Valentin. So, and the accent and everything. So I do like it. Although I think in terms of being radio friendly, I think they probably do need somebody who's a dedicated sort of vocalist singer. I mean, on some of my tracks, I've used singers because my vocals just didn't do the song justice, and it elevated the song as a result by having the appropriate, not necessarily better singer, but well, in the cases of my songs, it was better singers, but a more appropriate singer for certain songs. So I would probably consider doing a second mix with a different singer as well and seeing how that sounds, because it may be even better. I like the song itself though. It's nice, catchy, vibrant and fun and upbeat. So something you could exercise to, something you could dance to. So it's good. It's good.
Upbeat is usually the way that Valentin's been working with his music here. Rob.
Yeah, I second pretty much everything Carl's just said. It's a really sort of upbeat, nicely constructed Euro disco pop song, however you'd word that, but definitely disco vibes coming from it. Took me back a little bit to days of the roller disco where you'd get your roller skates on and be skating around. It's a fun, nice bit of pop, and I'm a bit like Carl on this one. I love Valentin and his voice, and he's got that kind of like there's kind of a cheeky element to you're buying into Valentin a little bit there. But also I would also like, because his songs are so well produced, I would like to hear another vocalist sing these songs and almost have the two side by side. You got Valentin and you're buying into Valentin. Valentin's the artist, and if you're going to go and watch him live, he's going to be a character, he's going to be a nice lovable guy. And then there's also a shining side to his work that just needs maybe someone else to just push it. He's almost got like two styles of work where he could his music is very commercially viable in some ways. Let's hear another vocalist singing it. So I've got to echo kind of what Carl said. Loving the song, loving the track. Would like to hear two takes on it personally, but there we go.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same band camp as you are, because we've talked before about songs where we couldn't understand the lyrics, and how it would be nice because there's a little bit lost in translation. I do think that there's a little bit lost in translation here, where Valentin does do this upbeat, very kind of like funky music. I mentioned it before on the ones and twos, which is that this music would work well like if you hired somebody to perform at your wedding, or things of that nature. So the production side, especially when I heard, I think the first song that I heard by Valentin was "Leave My World Alone," and that one had really, really poppy bass and bass drums in it and everything like that, and it was a really good song. And yeah, but definitely wouldn't hurt. But lost my train of thought for a second.
Just going into reset a moment. Just wait while you.
It was like
I was busy playing with my banana actually, so I suddenly realised it was silent, and I realised my little
train of thought was
my little Benny banana was just But Valentin is a top banana, so that's why I got the banana ready, because he's a top guy. So and did you know bananas have tails? Because this little banana has actually got a little tail. Benny Banana. He hasn't made an appearance for many a show. Do you remember him from last year? Back to you in the studio, Tom.
I want to know where
awkward silence.
Benny Banana ended up disappearing for so long.
I've only just managed to fish him out and clean him up and sterilize him.
Yes, he got him out of Susie earlier.
Oh my, yeah.
What? I'm just saying. Carl, we still have no proof of Susie. This is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you've not.
Oh, I see. That's okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah,
no, I didn't mean it like that. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, Rob?
I didn't even hear what he said.
I'm just such a dirty mind. I just.
Yeah, seriously, man.
I'm
Anyway,
very sorry.
back to Valentin real quick. Valentin, thank you for that submission. I'm looking forward to more music from you in the future.
Oh. I don't even know what you said. Oh dear, it's busy playing with my banana again. I'll get you some proof of Susie. I will get you some sort of proof. Not sure what form that's going to take, really. I think I could send you a photo of anybody randomly, couldn't I? So it's just me saying it, Susie.
Just send a picture of the air pump, man.
Yes, yeah.
The sock called Susie.
Oh yeah, it's a sock puppet, don't we? Yeah.
It did. With bubbly eyes on it. Hello, Susie.
Where have you been tonight? It's very late. I've been with the guys again. I told you it's not healthy to spend so much time with them.
Oh dear.
Well, I don't know if I should prolong that joke anymore. I kind of feel like going along. I kind of feel like going further with it, but then it's just
You can.
I just don't know if I should. Well, because last time you said that Susie's not well overall, and maybe it's because the banana's been there the entire time, right? So
because the what?
Banana.
The banana's been there the entire time.
Oh, perhaps so, but I don't know. Banana's smiling, so it ain't bad.
All right.
Bananas are quite healthy for you. I suppose. In what context? I'm not sure.
Mind you, looking at this, he's obviously not peeling very well. Sorry.
Okay. Ready?
Definitely. Move on.
How do you make a bandstand?
How do you make a what? Man stand?
Bandstand.
A bandstand.
Pull his chair from underneath him. I don't know.
That is kind of the cliff note of the joke. Yes, take their chairs away.
That was it.
Yes.
Hey.
It's not even the quiz that I got an answer right.
See, you're not so shit at trivia.
Oh my god.
Oh, we just got a message in.
Ooh.
It says, we're just a couple of old boomers, but there's just no substitute for all of that new independent music you're playing. The question is, will you join together with, will we join together with you on your Magic Bus musical journey? You better, you bet.
Who's that from? Tom?
Roger and Pete from the Who.
Who? Oh, say what? Freaking hell. Not the world famous pioneering UK rock band who had hits such as My Generation, Pinball Wizard, and Won't Get Fooled Again. Fooled Again. Woo! Who?
So let me finish. That's Roger and Pete from the Who Done It murder mystery events venue in Shreveport, Louisiana, not to be confused with the world famous pioneering UK rock band who had hits such as My Generation, Pinball Wizard, and Who Won't Get Fooled Again.
I thought, never mind. I got fooled again.
It says here, what exactly did Jeeves of the Butler see Lord Spankerton do to the maid and the candlestick in Miss Pantry's atrium? Come and find out for yourselves. There you go, folks. Get along for some saucy murder mystery fun.
Oh, did you say Spankerton? In the atrium? With the candlestick. I think I've been there. It was only $12, including re-entry, which I thought was good.
I call that a bargain. It's one of their songs, The Who, Bargain. Lesser known track. Sorry.
Huh?
Hey, huh? Number one for acting here.
Our acting is top notch. Our scripts are top notch. Welcome to the Underground Sound, folks, where we're all about music.
Oh my god,
that was actually a good one.
Yeah, I think so. So it actually flowed quite well. Well, we laughed through it all, but it was less choppy, I think.
Yeah, it worked smoothly. I think that if I get the editing points correctly, then
I spent 2-3 weeks rehearsing for that.
So did I, believe me.
Yeah,
I had my phone every time I took a break. I was just like,
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Oh dear.
Spankerton in the atrium with the candlestick.
By Jove, I think I've been there.
I think I've been there. Only $12
with the entry. All right. And now I am levitating with Emily Powell. Let me know what's going on here, girl.
Yeah, Emily Powell. So this track was posted fairly recently and reposted 7 days ago on Slaps, but it has had 11 saves and 100 out of 127 plays. So that's 1 in 10 listens has got somebody interested enough to save it, which is actually pretty good. So Emily Powell is, it just says here, from the United Kingdom. Singer, songwriter, dance, and pop are the groups that she sort of generally belongs to and uploads. Influences include Celine Dion, Ariana Grande, Barbara Streisand, Leona Lewis, Mariah Carey, Barbara Streisand again, Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton, Barbara Streisand, Beyonce, Christina Aguilera, and many Delta Goodrem, and many more. So this particular track, yes, it's called Levitating. It says an upbeat track about finding love. Some of the many comments on here. 80s good. Damn, I wish we ever collab. Nice. Oh, and is nice. So yeah, it does say oh. So I don't know what that means, but I think it means it's good. And this is fucking great. So I put the Scottish accent because it just sounded like it. So, but anyway, yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. I think it'd be up your alley. It says pop, but I think it's more synth pop kind of thing.
All
Right up your alley.
Fucking good. Here at the Underground Sound, folks, we strive for professionalism. So please do. Excuse our sometimes antics. All right, Levitating, also available on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Prime Music.
Probably. Well, what those symbols?
With influences such as Celine Dion. Here we go with Levitating by Emily Powell. Check it out. All right. That was Emily Powell with Levitating, Carlos Fandango.
Yeah, interesting upbeat track. So some noughties sort of touches in there, but mainly planted firmly in the 80s, mid 80s, with that drum sound, big drum sound, and the synthesizer, ding, 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 all those kind of little sounds they've got in there. Very poppy 80s retro sound. Solid vocals, good range. She's got a hooky. Now, the thing is, I think this song was probably modeled as and again, a composer, a trick for composing and producing songs that you want to sound like. I think this is heavily influenced by Whitney Houston, and in particular, I think it's How Will I Know. Now, I'm thinking it's the kind of thing where you can imagine the track's been sort of put in to the session, How Will I Know, and then the song's been modeled around that, because it almost has got the same structure, feel, and everything with this change of melody. But that's not a bad thing, because it's just got that Whitney Houston feel then of How Will I Know. So it's which I think is, so she's done a good job in it. If that's what Emily wanted to achieve, she's certainly achieved it. So it's got good results. So well done, Emily.
And the smart monkey says,
No, I'd just like to say that I think Carlos is a cheat and he's been copying my notes, because that's almost what I had. So stop looking over and copying my notes. Right. Okay. So what have I said? 80s style R&B sort of song, similarities to Whitney Houston, funnily enough. A little bit of Janet Jackson for me as well in there. I mean, definitely getting influences, and this is my notes as well, of How Will I Know. It's a bit spooky. She's got a great voice though, and the way this song is constructed and how it honors that era of music and that style is really good. So again, like Carlos said, if that's what she's trying to achieve, she's nailed it. She's bang on, and it is, so it's a different enough to be its own song, standing out on its own in a kind of style of Whitney Houston and paying homage to that style of music. So it's not a copy as such. It isn't. It's just a very good sort of close clone of that style of music. And I thought it was really good. I thought it was very, very good. And her vocals are very good. And you need to have good vocals to pull that style off, I think. So, yeah.
I have to agree with Rob there, is that you do need, good vocals to pull that off, because the notes that I have here is I was thinking, so here's the thing before I get on with it, right, is that she does have her own sound, that's for sure. As far as her vocals are concerned, the music is obviously, as both of you mentioned, kind of like generic 80s, early 90s kind of stuff. But here's the vocal stylings, or at least the song structure, the way that the vocals were working, is I compared it to Paula Abdul or Whitney Houston, right? Because they definitely work both ways with that. So Paula Abdul, I didn't really pick up on the How Will I Know, but now that you guys have mentioned, obviously it's kind of like, when people say, hey, don't think of elephants, right? You're going to be thinking of elephants. So now that you've mentioned, How Will I Know, then now I'm kind of like picturing in my mind. But I was thinking about the Paula Abdul song, which she had, Keanu Reeves was Straight Up, I think it was the name of the song. Straight Up Now, Baby, will you tell me? I think that's what it was. It was a very young Keanu Reeves at the time was the co-star of that music video. Yeah, Carl looks confused.
That's the one that she did with the cartoon, wasn't it? She was dancing with the cartoon.
That was Opposites Attract.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, was it Keanu Reeves in Straight Up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Straight Up? Yeah, I believe.
Straight Up.
I believe
Wow.
that was the song. I'm just, now you got me thinking about it, but I know that it was Keanu Reeves that had co-starred with her in one of the songs back in the day. So he was definitely the backup, a very young Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves, very nice guy, by the way, from anything that I've ever read online about him.
Yeah.
Super duper, awesome guy. But that's not what we're here to talk about. So I got to say that Emily, I think an original piece of work. Because as you guys said, we've kind of heard this, right? So something a bit more modern, something a bit more, 2000-ish, 2023-ish, because the song was released not that long ago, if I remember correctly, Levitating here. And so, yeah, I think that if something were written in, or produced, I should say, in a 2023 kind of way, then Emily's voice definitely has, huge potential to make it, and especially once again, since both of you there were comparing her to Whitney Houston.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Then
was just sitting here thinking, all three of us have gone Whitney Houston, and what a voice to be able to have compared to, that's a lot of compliment to Emily. There is that we're all three of us have gone, oh, you sound like Whitney Houston. That's pretty cool.
no, I mean, it's a huge compliment, and Emily, you should take it for what it is, because whether we said Whitney Houston, Adele, Amy Winehouse, Paula Abdul, whichever the case may be, whatever voice that we could have thrown at you here that you actually sound like, just take it for what it is. It is a compliment. It's just that I think that the production probably needs to be more up to date ish, I should say. So this definitely has an 80s, early 90s vibe to it. But again, if we're going to talk about breaking into the music career, the music arena, as it were, then I think that it would be beneficial to think of something that is more poppy and kind of like up to date.
I don't know, because if you look at something like Bruno Mars and Uptown Funk, I mean, that's deeply rooted in the 1980s. I mean, it's just got so many 80s sort of vibes and reference. Okay, it's modern production style and singing and everything, but it is, well, even the singing style is older. So it's really gone to town on that. And so many people are doing this 80s retro flavored songs. I mean, listen to Taylor Swift's more synth pop sort of stuff, and it's everything's deeply rooted in the 80s. So I think she's onto a thing here, because people are really enjoying those retro sounds. A lot of the generation that are the children of my generation and Rob's generation are the ones that are grown up with their mums and dads listening to the 80s music, so they're familiar with it. So I think there's definitely a market for it, but perhaps just with a few modern touches in there, it'll be more marketable. Probably you're right. Yeah. So I'll take on your point.
Here's my impression of an 80s drum machine. Boom. It's generic, man.
Hold on, do that again, because I want to sample it. Got it.
I don't know though, because you've got the all those big drums.
Whoa, stop. Do that again. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, got it. Excellent. I do owe you an apology, Rob. You did call me out on this one, so I don't think I see that. But damn. So basically, copy Rob's notes ? Yeah, why the hell not? So I'm really sorry about that. Ignore the pegging thing. Sorry.
Wait a second. Did I say something about peg?
No. just I was just had to investigate it earlier, and oh dear me, he won't come back. Oh well, that's it. He did say that. Yeah, you have to watch the show back.
Put it on pause.
Episode 32.
I did like that idea. That was good. I think it should be a regular thing.
Writing bigger writing though.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, it's a bit hard to read that one, but it was that the secret. You had to write big.
Yeah, big writing.
I thought it looked like a small pad you had there. So
big writing, small words, easy to read words.
damn.
You got my writing style off to a T there. Writing small words. Maybe a little picture of a flower and a butterfly, and that's how I write every day.
Wow. And did you manage to clear up the thrush?
Not bad. It's not bad.
So you can start using the lube now.
Yeah, and give myself thrushing it.
Oh yeah. That's the way. Like I said, it's how you get it that counts.
Yeah, I just recirculate that shopping list quite often.
It's just rinse and repeat. Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man,
I've still got it here. I'm ready to read it again.
You're proud of that one, aren't you?
Yeah, so I can order it all over again. Cheese and onion sandwiches, always a steady, good meal to have. Lettuce, why not? Lube, thrush cream. I mean, it's just the shopping list that everyone wants with Depeche Mode on the bottom now.
Sounds like a fantastic picnic.
It's fantastic. It is. I mean, yeah.
Interesting.
oh my goodness.
But don't put the lube and the thrush cream in your cheese and onion sandwich. It doesn't go well. I did do that. I thought it might taste like mayonnaise, but
Oh dear.
but I've cleared the thrush in my mouth, which is good.
All right. How many concert masters does it take to change a light bulb?
I don't know how many.
Well, just one, but it takes 4 movements.
That's a good musical joke there. That's very good.
Moving on with the music, as we should be doing.
True. Yeah.
Instead of talking about thrush cream and lube, and pegging, which for crying out loud, why the hell did you have that on you? Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's like I've written down. Is it something to do with
My
camping?
grandson, hey.
I just assumed it was something to do with camping, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Yes.
Depends on who you're going with, though.
And dogging's when you take your dog for a walk in the woods.
Oh, of course. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Try that this weekend then.
I'd put an invite out. Anyone wanting to go dogging this weekend?
So, if you were wondering why there may not be a show next week, this is absolutely.
I did my darndest to try and get him banned last week, didn't I? By the looks of it, but you edited out most of it.
Yes. Oh, from what I saw, Carl tried for about an hour and a half to get us banned. on YouTube.
Mind you, there were things that were just left in there, and
Yeah, I'm gonna
I was
upload the whole thing and forward it to you from beginning to end. You can actually listen to the entire thing.
Oh yeah, but that was just chatting in the break time, wasn't it? Really? So.
Oh no, some of it was during the show.
Filthy chat from Carl. Filthy.
Just me, is it?
I do think that at a certain point we lose perception as when we're doing the show and when we're actually just chatting, which is fine. I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. Just make my life difficult. That's all.
I'm going to keep it interesting for you. Keep you on your toes.
You're
going to have to watch every single minute when you come to edit it.
What do you think I do?
Just because we might have slipped something a bit dodgy.
I'm just like, Well, that's kind of dodgy, but
yeah. Well, I see. Every time I say something, I notice Tom sort of reaches for the notepad. Okay, and then what's the time? Edit that out.
It's those sneaky little ones, isn't it? Those one-worders that no one bumhole is going to pick up on in the middle of the show. They're really difficult to pick out. Bumhole.
Yeah, but
Well, they're also hard to bumhole edit out as well.
Yes. All right, nobody's going to take me serious. I can see this. Conceptualize by Grandson. Let me know about the song, Carl.
Oh, now you said grandson. It didn't click because obviously grandson, so that's grand and SUN, and I've just heard it as grandson. S-O-N. So no, you said it. So maybe it's a sort of like a play on words. Maybe. They're from, okay, I'd like to think that's Lisbon, but it says Lisboa, Portugal. So, oh yeah, it is Lisbon. There we go. Lisbon, Portugal, it says underneath. Grandson is a band of, looks like four artists.
Roar! There's a roar of them.
Roar. And they sing about peculiar characters they find every day. They also sing about escapism and existential fear. You could call them a sunshine band with heavy influences from the late 60s and 70s, sometimes a psychedelic pop act, most times with a garage post-punk attitude. Influences include, shared one with me is the Beatles, and then there's also Donald Fagen, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I've never heard of them. It's not made up, it's real. Yeah, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And Stereo Lab, Omni, Shame, the Brian Jonestown Massacre. Wow. So quite an eclectic mix of unusual artists and lesser known artists there. But yeah, this one's called Conceptualize. So their new cut. And it says it was written rural Portugal on a very rainy day in early August 2020. There you go.
Well, as Carl had mentioned, here's their newest cut, Conceptualize by Grandson.
It's hard to conceptualize death when everybody lives forever. Got caught in these walls, and everything is getting better.
All right, that was conceptualized by Grandson. Let's see, Smart Monkey.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thank you for paying an interest in me. Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed this actually. It has a really sort of 90s retro indie band vibe to it, and it almost just that vibe grows as the track goes on. It just builds and builds. It's a kind of a dreamy indie rock track, so you know, got that kind of reverby, echoey effect to it, and you got that Hammond organ sound that just throws you back to things like In Spiral Carpets, who I was a big fan of back in the day, and then there's elements of Shed 7 in there, and then there's almost elements of the noughties bands of Elbow and bands like the Doves in there as well. So it's got that indie element just running right the way through, sort of taking it from that earlier genre and bringing it almost quite up to date as well. I love the I try verse. I just, that harks back to that era, the way they just sing that, and then the chorus, when I die, that chorus is really good as well. It's a really enjoyable song. It's got a lot of retro elements to it. It's catchy. It's radio friendly. Yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
Agreed. And Carlos Fandango says,
Well, I say. It's basically, I put 90s Manchester vibe. Ian Brown in Spiral Carpets, I mentioned as well in my notes, oddly enough, for the keyboard thing. The Verve, vocally, the Verve Richard Ashcroft sort of sound, and that's what it is that's making me think it is. You mentioned about I try. It's reminded me of the Yes, I can change, but I'm here in my mode. That one. So it's basically, it feels like it's, heavily influenced by that. The funky bass line and drum groove. It's really good. It's about the groove, this one. It's vibrant, very indie band, solid composition, good production. Again, harking back to the sort of the 90s and early 90s, when the influence of the psychedelic late 60s period was sort of seeping into that music. So again, like track one, very much in that mold again. Here in that mold, and it also reminded me slightly of, there's a lesser known album by a lesser known band in the late 60s. I think it's 1969. It was called The End, the album The End, by Introspection. Or is Introspection by The End? Sorry, the band's called The End, and that's a really good album if you ever get to hear it as well. And you can hear how that kind of work would have influenced these kind of bands. So, all in all, I'd forgotten that was such a strong song, actually. So, this top three tonight is going to be a really difficult choice. Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Over to you, Tom, back in the studio.
Back in the studio. It's clever. I liked it. I think I got to disagree with you guys a little bit here, because I think that they do have a little bit of their own sound. I was trying to kind of like, trying to groove in place and where the song is going and everything like that. I think that they have a bit of their own style going on, which is a bit rare these days. So I didn't really find many comparisons in my mind to where everything was going. I did kind of like think big band a little bit for a minute, right? Because there happened to be a lot going on. So it wouldn't be something like Cake, but it would be something akin to the lines of Cake, for example, because they definitely had a lot of instruments playing at one point, and there was a lot going on. So it was jazzy, it was funky, and it sounded really good. And I don't think there's I can't find much wrong with this, honestly, to tell you the truth. There's not really much harsh criticism to give here, which obviously, once again, we do mean as constructive when we say harsh. It's just Yeah, I think the production quality was good. I think the music, I think the lyrics, the instruments, I think everything was working here. It's a nice song. Goodly jobbed, as I had said before. So
Very, very goodly job. Yes, indeed.
yes.
Yeah, I concur. I concur, sir.
So I missed. Am I going blind or did I miss the owl? The last segment.
On the last what segment? No, we haven't done the second bowl yet, and the owl's here for the second bowl.
the first second bowl. Well, the first second bowl.
The second bowl. We've had the first bowl, but we haven't had the second bowl. Have we?
Oh, we should do like a
Well, we've had the first bowl, but we haven't done the first second bowl.
the first
So
second,
move on to the first second bowl,
the first second bowl. Yes.
Well, the
and
second,
then we can
first
have
bowl.
the second bowl
So hold on. So
before we move on to the third of
But-
the first second bowls.
second bowl.
Owl is here. Owl has decided to posh up this week.
Oh,
A little bit posh up, be a bit posher, and I don't know. It's not like it's the awards. I think Al's a bit disappointed because we sort of never really got around to doing an award show, and Al didn't really.
It's
I don't know. It felt a bit like it was missing
yeah,
out.
we're
But
almost there, aren't we, Tom?
decided to have a nice bow
getting
tie.
there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yes. That's a big bow tie.
So what's he
It is a
poshed
big
up
bow
with?
tie.
All he's done is caught a moth while he's been out hunting.
That's pretty. So before I let you guys get on with your stuff, while I start looking here,
Get on with your stuff. Get on with the owl. Come on.
what
Oh,
type
we get on
of,
just fine, don't we?
what type of music are balloons afraid of?
Pop.
Ah, jeez.
Sorry,
Oh, there you go.
I'm a dad. I get these dad jokes.
Ready? One more.
Tom's trying so hard tonight. Let him have this.
All right. I don't know.
Let me read the question. For a second. What did Jay-Z call his wife before he was married to her?
I don't know. What did Jay-Z call his wife before he was married to her?
Fiance.
Ah,
Ah,
well, that was. I thought it was all right, really.
Really?
No.
You really are being nice now, aren't you?
Wow.
okay. Go on.
Okay, so we're going to choose. Some more bowls. So just.
Yeah, I'll suffocate this.
Oh, no. I'm trying to pull it down. It's difficult. Sorry, it's strangling you, isn't it? Let's just bring it down a bit. That's it. I'll tell you what. Go for the Frank Sinatra look. You know that sort of.
That's
Rat Pack.
he looks
Rat
pretty
Pack,
rad
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah, Rat Pack.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Just wrapped.
Somewhere
He just wrapped up the show. He's
beyond the
on his
sea.
head, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's a rocking owl now.
Yes, that's good. You can join the Rat Pack now, can't you? Oh yeah. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11.
You come up with that, didn't you? You genuinely come up with that.
Yeah. I just make these.
That's amazing. That is.
I like puns and things, and it's just the way the brain works. Sorry, I apologize.
you ever seen, Rob? You ever seen that movie, A Beautiful Mind? It's either right there or right here for you, or maybe like over. I don't know.
Beautiful mind.
Right, and
Huh?
okay, so how are we going to do this? Do you want me to
Blow one out. Just one.
blow?
So
Do you know
blow
what?
the
We've not done
bowl.
that. Have we blow one?
Blow in the bowl, but only
Yeah.
one out.
You think only one can get right? Okay,
Yeah,
let's try
yeah,
it.
you can do it. If anyone can do it, you can do it, Carl.
Oh,
Oh,
I can actually do it with my nose. I think I just went,
this is good.
as
This
long
is
as
good.
a little bit of back doesn't come out of the cave, we should be all right. So
You're
let's
pretty
try
good
this.
at blowing one out. Come on.
Do you want me to blow one out? Ready? Oh, there it is.
There it
It
is.
came out. Yes, it came out. Oh, how about that? Considering we've mentioned this word a few times tonight, this is how strange is this? But psychedelic. It's really this is the theme for tonight. It's psychedelic, and that was blown out by my nose. So, Al, come back. Let's have a little. Does that look any good like that? With
He
the Rat
is
Pack thing?
pretty mean. He's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You like that, don't you? Yeah, you like the old, and you like the swing music, don't you? All the Dean Martin
Like swinging.
swinging. Yeah,
Where you like a bit of swinging.
yeah. I think no, you don't. No, okay. Takes all sorts, and yeah. So basically, yeah, I was going to give you a couple more of these universally challenged things. So some of the things contestants said. This was on. Oh, this must have been. Oh, you know what it's called with Les Dennis, Family Fortunes, wasn't it? Name something a car can have two of. Wheels. Name something people might be allergic to. Skiing.
I do like these.
Name something slippery. A con man. That's quite a clever one. It's just sort of... Name something you see at every football game. Pies.
Pies.
Pies, yeah. I suppose on the pie stall, yeah. Name something you stroke. A match. That's weird. And no, that's a bit weird as well, yeah. Name a polite word you'd use to swear. Bugger.
Kuntry.
There you go, yeah. Name part of a Christmas turkey. Stuffing.
I love it.
The whole thing is that they're not wrong.
No, they're not wrong. Yeah, there's no wrong answers here.
This would have been the last fucking answer that anybody would have thought of.
That's mental.
Back
That's
to
crazy.
you in the studio, Tom.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
Yeah, do that again, Rob.
That's a good.
What's that you're using?
That was good.
Microphone.
Oh, it's a microphone.
It's quite obviously a flashlight.
It's quite obvious a microphone.
Oh, I see.
I don't know about you
That was
guys,
nothing.
but we have HD over here in freaking America.
So you can see that it's a flashlight.
Yes.
Get your HD on that.
Oh, that looks real cool because the background stays the same. You're just all blurry.
Not bad.
Yeah, it looked like
That's
you're
what it was.
teleporting, man.
So remind me again, why have we only got blokes watching? No women want to watch this. That's
What?
strange. Isn't it strange? You'd think a cute, fluffy owl at least to be, you know, nice and
Yeah, you think
that
pulling the birds?
yeah. Well, you say this now. I was on a well, I was on an 80s weekender thing at this Pontins, which is like a downgrade Butlins thing, and and
Take the owl with you.
no. But I did do. I was one night because it's all it was basically what do you call it, fancy dress. So one time I went as Rod Hull and Emu. And the amount of interest it got, all the girls coming up and stroking my hand, basically, Emu and everything.
I hope it was your hand. Didn't it?
Well, so there you go. See, but basically, it's just amazing the attention you got. Just everyone stroking my sort of hand that's doing all this.
Can you not get Emu on it? Next time, bring Emu. Sorry, Al, but you're redundant.
Yeah, Emu may be up in the loft, possibly somewhere, but I'd have to have a good search for it.
He's looking a bit
Rob,
bedraggled now.
You ever seen that movie Dinner for Schmucks?
No.
No, I was asking Rob. I wasn't asking you.
Oh, no, you schmuck. I was asking Rob.
I'm not sure I have, but I might have to look it up.
It was with let's see, John. It wasn't John Cusack. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd.
Oh, I bet I have. 'Cause I
Stephen
love
Carell.
Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd.
This
I have. I've seen it. I'm sure I have because I love him.
I think I can do this.
Yeah, he's over here for me. He's just up there.
It's right there. Yeah. All right, so we have believe it or not.
So that's the same lot as was it 40-Year-Old Virgin, isn't it? By the looks of it.
Yeah, Steve Carell. Yeah, Steve Carell. Yeah, he was the.
Yes, that was a good film. You hadn't seen that one yet, had you, Cole?
Which
Well,
was
this-
no, I haven't seen 40-Year-Old Virgin. No.
Is that because you think it's like a autobiography
Yeah, biopic of.
The documentary.
documentary? Yeah.
It's no, it's one I just for some reason I just didn't fancy. Is it any good? Because I
It is.
genuinely thought, no, I don't know.
I mean, some
one of
bits
those
are a little
films.
bit crass, but some bits are really genuinely funny. It's good.
Yeah, it's a bit slapstickish.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's better.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. You
Excellent.
relate to it, Cole. You will relate to it.
I will relate to it for whatever reason. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm just fixing it up, and actually, I fixed the bow tie on properly now, so should be okay now. Al,
I'll tell you what. Watch the movie with the sock puppet and the owl, and it might be more relatable.
okie.
I posted
Yeah.
it 8 months ago.
Ooh.
No, this is kind of funny because I think I might have spelled psychedelic wrong.
Yeah, put Spunkadelic in everything.
Spunkadelic, no, psychedelic. Psychedelic.
Well, there's a group though, psychedelic, isn't there? So you just searched rather than looked up the group.
That is the group.
That is the group.
That is the group. Which
There should be one
is
soon, more
members.
recent than that long ago.
Nope. It's the group. Want me to show you?
Yeah, show us. Show us.
Mm. Prove it. Prove it.
I'll prove it. I'm telling you, slaps sometimes gets weird about this kind of stuff. So, see, psychedelic, far out stuff. Group. Salmon hashtag groups. So the brand newest song posted 8 months ago was Liron with Last Off Castaway.
That's strange because I know we had a psychedelic one.
We sure did.
Yeah, and it was.
And that's the same thing that I'm thinking is that I know that we had a
Psychedelic spelled right though. It's not an A, is it? Isn't it an E?
Yes, psychedelic. Have you put psychedelic?
Psychedelic.
Oh, that'd be why then. So there's another group. I'll look it up now. Yeah, so it's PSYCHEDELIC. Psychedelic.
Oh, there we go.
There's one.
There we are.
Yeah, 1.9 thousand members. 6 days ago.
That's more like it, isn't it? That's more like it, boy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's better. Can Erdiger. Excellent. Yeah. Cool. Alan. Excuse me.
Robot Sensei.
Come on, Nick.
Write this down here. Robot Sensei with Meeting in the Spaceship.
Meeting in the spaceship. If you didn't write that song, I just did.
Wouldn't it be strange if it actually did sound like
That would be. I'd be a little bit.
That would definitely.
Well, I like the comments for this one because it says, well, so one of them says robot song, one of them just says robot in capitals.
Yeah.
Love those synths and I.
Robot!
And this is very charming. So one of them says, it's very, very charming.
Very charming.
Nice synth work. So there's lots of comments.
Got to be
Favorable.
a Brit, doesn't it? Who comes up with very charming.
It's very, very, very charming. Yes. Hmm.
Well, artwork isn't terrible. I'll say that. So, Robot Sensei is from Louisiana in the United States. 19 followers, 163 plays, 8 tracks in total. Says I go by Robot Sensei, just a human being that loves the art of music, vocally and instrumental. So I create music in all ways, discovering futuristic vibes and real feels. So tune in with me at robot.fm. Ooh.
Robot FM.
This may be track 12 from the robot.fm album. So I'm wondering if that's an advertisement. An advert, as you would say.
And no, I think it's actually called robot.fm because if you look at the artwork, it's robot.fm. So I think it is actually their album called.
Robot.fm.
Here, tell a
Probably.
couple of jokes.
It's probably a concept album or something.
Robot.fm.
See, I love how Rob's getting into it.
Just getting in the vibe of the jingles.
Yeah, I like jingles.
The
Robot.fm.
underground sound.
I like the robot.fm, yeah. Robot.fm.
It was promoting us then on that one. God.
Say A, say I, say A, say I.
I just wanted to double check to make sure that we're not going to be copyright striked here. Or
Yeah.
So that's where we are. So let's see. Robot Sensei meeting in the spaceship, available on Apple Music, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Track number 12 from Robot.fm album. Production Robot Sensei. Says futuristic vibes, while Carl's still struggling to get that bow tie right on the L. So
Quite right. Yeah, it's just a bit tight. I'm sorry, Al. That's better. You can move your head a bit now. No, the bow tie's moving with you now. Okay, we'll sort it out.
all right, folks. Enjoy Robot Sensei. Very, very interesting, smart monkey.
It's very interesting, isn't it? That's it from me. No, yeah, okay. So what can I say about this? It's an electronic track for sure. In my mind, this is what I would, if I was writing this kind of track myself, I would consider this a seed track. I call these seed tracks. I have hundreds of these things. And what they are basically is the basics of a track, and they got something good about them. And you know that with a bit of work and listening, they grow into something. In fact, all of my tracks start as a seed track, and then as I listen and I work, they organically grow. I love the concept of seed tracks and growing and organic, because that is my music style, and I consider this to be a seed track. So this is something that I would take and I would get the basics of, and then I would keep on developing it and listening to it over and over again and going, right, what is it that I like? What's the hook? What do I need to expand on? What do I need to add some layers to? What do I need to take out? What do I need to add in? So to me, this has potential, but it's a seed track. It needs a little bit more fleshing out in my mind. That's not to say there's anything wrong with it. But is it a finished piece of work? I would argue no, in my personal opinion. I know there are some quite stripped down tracks that people release out there, and there may be a sort of audience for that. But I feel that as an electronic track, it can go a lot further and take the listener on a bigger journey. So that's my opinion on this. It's not to give up on it, but to just expand it.
I kind of think that's what was happening. What say you, Carlos Van Engel?
Yeah, I think Rob's probably right on all of that. I would say, so for me, I mean, it's if the track is to be taken as part of a concept album, so it's like music by robots, presented by robot DJs for robots on Robot FM. Robot FM. Well, then I think
Stop giving away ideas, damn it.
So basically, in that sense, it's sort of kind of makes sense, the whole thing, and take it as it is. I mean, it's when you think of some of the craft work, I mean that's kind of music made by machines is the whole concept of craft work, really, and it's. What would music be like if it was made by robots and machines? Well, that's the sound, and it's not a million miles away from that in some respects. So there must be influence, I would say, to a degree, by the likes of Kraftwerk. And bearing that in mind, some of the Kraftwerk tracks are pretty stripped bare and stripped back. So and when you think of Trans Europa Express and some of the sections of that, where it's just pretty much the beat and the occasional instrumentation and things, and them sort of singing Trans Europa Express, all that kind of thing. So it's there's not much to it. So taking all that into account, actually, I didn't mind that. What I did mind is that it's put into the psychedelic category. For what reason, I don't know. Because really, this is electronica, this is synth, a bit of trance in there, but it's sort of very much could be used as gaming music, but on its own. I mean, it's odd because the end section was all sort of suddenly all modern and sort of almost alluding to techno drum and bass type sort of sounds, and it ended abruptly. So I guess that segues into another track probably. But and there's more tracks on the album. So overall, actually, I wasn't too mad with it, and I think it was all right. It was okay actually. It was I quite enjoyed it. It was different, not psychedelic though. It was more Robot FM.
Electronic.
Supersonic. Well, listen, it does say here that it's track number 12 from Robot.fm album, right? So maybe this is interlude, right? From something that happened, calming down, and then going into something a little bit bigger, and that's maybe all it is. So I mean, What can you say about the production quality? It's electronic music, so I mean, this all the pitches and all the volumes seem to be, where they need to be. Yeah, the psychedelic category for sure is not where this needs to be, especially at the last 7/8 of the song. When we get the boom, 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 we get that sub bass in there. It definitely starts to sound more electronic than
Electronic.
I can see trance. Right? Not psychedelic.
No.
Psychedelic as far as has been working out a lot differently. On the show than this one here. So I could definitely see trance. I could definitely see techno. I could definitely see, EDM even, if you wanted to put it into the EDM category. Although I don't know. I can actually picture a few people dancing to this. So EDM would actually make a better fit than the psychedelic does.
So, yeah, I suppose robots sort of go.
We both did that at the same time.
I was just about to say, like, these two assholes over here. Just here's the thing. Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
A seed, as I'd like to say. A little bit of developing.
Yeah.
Organic growth.
I see what you mean.
Ha ha.
That's a very intellectual joke, and I like it.
Guffaw. Chortle. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that takes us to track 9. This is the bit where Tom normally says he's really sad.
Burst into tears normally.
Indeed, we are. So, Reflex. Now, I'm just looking up. This is interesting. Now, I wonder if he actually is from there. But it says Reflex is from Pawtucket. And anybody who knows anything about Family Guy will know that Peter Griffin, the Griffin family, are from Pawtucket as well. So, in America. Just recently, it says, went public with my tunes, been rapping. Oh, by the way, I must precede this with, yet again, I'm bucking my own trend, and choosing a sort of rap hip hop song. This is unlike me. I don't know what's going on lately, but if I see something or hear something that's quite interesting in a rap song, that I think, okay, well, something interesting. Let's go for it. Let's put it out there. And it says here, been rapping and performing live, but never had an opportunity like this before to reach my fellow believers. Hope you like the music. Influences include Tupac, Biggie, Talib Kweli, Jesus, God, 311, Fleetwood Mac, Elvis. That's unusual. Okay, and but basically this one's called If I Die Tonight. This song has a video that goes, I think it means with it rather than to it. Check it out on YouTube. So do check out at Reflect, but the Reflect is REF1 ECT. So the L is a stylized 1 instead. Back to you.
Back to you in the studio, Tom.
Yeah, yes, thank you very much. Sorry, it's just I typed in my new address as the current address, and I had to get that. So I thought Pawtucket was a fictional place.
Well, I wondered that. Yes, I did wonder. So therefore, I've just Googled it. But sorry, I'm reporting from Pawtucket. But as you can see, I'm nowhere. So actually, I think you're right. It's fictional, and it's been established. Back to you, Tom, in the studio.
Yeah. Well, Rob had a microphone as well, so
I do. I have a microphone.
You seem to be blinding yourself with it.
Where are you reporting from, Rob? Under your bed covers?
Back to the studio we go. Okay, so Reflect with the annotation of the number 1 as the L. If I Die Tonight. This song has a video that goes. The song has a video that goes to. Check it out on YouTube. Search at Ref1 ECT. That would be Reflect. Let's check it out.
The United Nations said on Monday that natural disasters surged dramatically over the past 20 years, mainly due to climate change. Major disaster cases have almost doubled compared to the period between 1980 to 1999. According to experts, the future may greatly be threatened.
Yeah. Now if I told you there was a war going on, causing more death than the bomb in Saigon, would you take a moment or just go about your day, blinded to the signs cause you set in your way? Or would you stop and listen to see what's going on right here on your block or right there on your lawn? We got kids killing kids and hate being loved, and 8-year-old children never knowing the embrace of a hug. Sad for me to see another tragedy ignored, just another victim patient on the billboard. Same focus, new aim, same picture, new name, same heart, new pain. So as I walk by the stained glass and the cross, never to know the price he paid for those who were lost, but know this: I preach life for survival, to gain understanding and a spark of revival. Cause if I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. Cause if I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. Street lights to high beams, young men will see visions, in the old will dream dreams, and in the alleyways we will hear screams from the ones who's lost and left behind in the times cause they did doubt. Now surrounded with famine and drought, microchip in the wrong for permission to farm. Bomb drop without the sounding of alarms. Revelation of a midnight hour. Power is power, kingdoms will cower. Rise to a fall, death by spell. Hard to tell where you're living, if it's heaven or hell. The earth shake, the moon bleed. How much more will we need to see that we engulfed in sin? Is Satan speaking to me through a Seagram's gin? In a bloodshot eye, living a smoked out lie. Only question I ask is, Lord God, why? Cause if I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. Cause if I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only borrowed. If I die tonight, or if I go tomorrow, I thank my God for yesterday, today is only
Monsieur Smart Monkey.
It's just monkey. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this track. It takes me back to an era of like hip hop and rap that you didn't get to hear much these days, and reminds me very much of early Eminem. And I just love his vocal rap style, and then the rest of the hip hop track is really good as well. It's all quite solid, and it's interesting because I was like trying to picture this with maybe some more sort of contemporary, more modern sort of stuff, and yet he's done a really good job of mixing this down into that kind of really early hip hop style. And I was like playing around with it in my mind and trying to see if it would fit with other things, but he's got it nailed, and I'm really impressed. And I don't say this very often, but I like this so much lyrically that there's a part of me that would love to see if he would do me an a cappella and I could put some of my stuff. I just love his vocal rapping style. It's that simple, very I don't know, it's quite emotional to me, this sort of style of rap. It has an element, it's not offensive, it's not abrasive, it's just going back to that pure style. And he could be if he wanted to, but he hasn't, and he's picked a very sort of good lyrical reason for his song, and I was really impressed. It's up there in one of my top 3, this one.
All right. Up there as one of the top 3 for Rob, probably from what he's saying, probably number 1, Carlos Fandango.
Well, this is interesting for me. I don't normally choose rap and hip hop as for the show, but I have been every now and then. And again, I do say, I look at things objectively. So if they have merit, and this certainly does have merit, one of the first things I wrote down was Eminem, actually, because it has got that sort of style to it. Okay, so it's a social issues song, and lyrically I like it too. It's not only a sort of song of praise as such, and being thankful for the day, because as it says, thank my God for yesterday. Today is only borrowed, but also the social issues of things like there's 8-year-old children never knowing the embrace of a hug. That line stuck with me, and I think that's because yes, there are some big sort of societal issues around the world and stuff that we won't comment on those, but the actual stuff that matters is the day-to-day stuff that people experience, and there are kids growing up without the embrace of a hug. So it's a really good line, and but yeah, like Rob said, no swearing, social issue song. It can be done without swearing, and also it's got a memorable chorus, a bit of a hooky chorus. So and this is my where I have a beef with hip hop and rap generally is that there's not enough musicality in it. This does have a musical element to it because it's a sort of half-sung chorus, but with the music supporting it. So it doesn't have to be sort of like the same thing all the way through musically. It really doesn't. Some artists like Eminem have proved that, and there are others as well. So it can be done. So when you think of something, okay, Gangsta's Paradise sampled the Stevie Wonder track, so Pastime Paradise. So that had a lot of musical elements to it. So, and those are always the more popular songs, the ones that got more music in them, as far as I'm concerned. So it can be done, should be done, will be done, and it's good that it has been done here, and I liked it too. It may not be in my top 3, but it is. Hearing it again, I liked it more than I realized I had before. Something like that.
Very interesting. Not in Carlos's top 3, huh?
Only because there's so much quality tonight. That's the only reason it might not be because it's got so much competition and songs that I probably would listen to more of.
It's not that much. Let's be honest.
Well, I don't know. I think it's good competition tonight. We've had some really good songs.
Yeah,
it's decent competition. It's not good competition.
Oh, controversial.
Here we go.
Oh dear.
Here's so the first thing that it made me think of was Toy Soldiers by Eminem. So I'm kind of like on the same boat with Rob on that one. That one didn't need a lot of swearing. It really drove a point home. The thing is that I'm going to say a bit religious, but I mean, we understood that from the get-go with the artwork and with the name Reflect, the way that everything's worded here. And on top of Eminem, I got to say that I felt that this was a bit of Linkin Park,
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going, man. Some of the lyrical raps that they would have on some of their tracks. I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, Chester's out of the equation and everything, but the whole thing is that Linkin Park will forever be Linkin Park the way that you think about it, So it definitely has this Linkin Park and Eminem, especially for me. Once again, the Toy Soldiers kind of vibe. Aside from it being religious, it does have a slight production problem, which I'm pretty sure that you noticed is probably like in the third hook. The volume on the third course was super high. And so it's really prominent, and there's no hiding it. You can say what you want to all throughout the song. It just kind of seems like, are we done with this? No, let's do this. And then you throw it in at a different volume is pretty much what it sounded like. So again, I'll just go back to this idea of a little bit more of a pro production And this song has all the makings of a hit to it. The lyrics were deep, the voice is good, the cadence is good, the beat is good, everything is working in this, aside from that one little thing, honestly.
I don't say it very often, but I there's a part of me that would like to collab with Reflect. I'd never say that, but I'm very picky. But I do think his vocal style and his take on the lyrics he uses, I'd love to get a couple of acapellas and then I would mix them up, because I just really liked it.
Well, you heard it here. If you'd like to collab with Smart Monkey, do by all means visit the video description below. You will find out how to get in touch with him. Even if it is through my email, then I'll obviously pass the message along. If you have enjoyed the show thus far, then do visit the video description below and find all these fantastic artists that we have reviewed this evening. And yeah, I just gotta say, click on these links, show everybody some love here, and let's get some of these names into a brighter light, because there's a lot of musicians out there that definitely do deserve it. So with all that said, we're moving on to track number 10.
But before we do, I have this round 2 of Call My Bluff.
Okay.
So here we are.
I have been patiently waiting for this.
Well, your patience will be rewarded, I'm sure. So, as it stands, Tom's got 2, audience has got 1, Rob's got 0. But Rob can turn this around, I'm sure.
Thanks. That's a great stuff.
Right, okay. So, what do we got here then? So, glass has got to go on. Oh, there, these.
Can I put mine on?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to join in.
So, at least you could look intelligent.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like the look part.
Right, so the word so the word is tump, T-U-M-P, tump, and it's A, to tap down the tobacco in a pipe, B, to startle someone, or C, a small mound of earth such as a molehill. So what is a tump? Is it to A, to tap down the tobacco in a pipe, B, to startle someone, or C, a small mound of earth such as a molehill? What's your guess going to be?
C.
So Tom's going for C. What about you, Rob?
Hey.
Oh, I see. You're going. I thought.
Hey, okay.
Okay, and audience, you're torn as well, are you? I'm mostly hearing you shout B. Sorry. It's actually C. Tom's right again. Tom's a clear winner tonight.
You fucking just call me a prick.
Yeah.
You could have swore Smart Monkey just called me a prick.
Oh, how unwarranted was that? See if I can find a word that describes what just happened there. I can't. But we have our 4th round, last round, because it's not going to even go to a tiebreaker at this rate.
I was going to say, for what? No, but go, just because I want to guess this.
Well, yeah, actually, you are a clear winner. So, but anyway, this word is plum. Plum. So,
Sorry,
C-L-U-M.
C-L-U-M, okay.
Clum. A medieval word meaning silence. B, a cloister in a monastery. C, a hybrid of a cherry and a plum. Plum. So, what is clum? Is it A, a medieval word meaning silence? B, a cloister in a monastery? Or C, a hybrid of a cherry and a plum? What do you reckon?
Tom's Googling.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not Googling. No, absolutely.
I'll wait for Tom to give us the answer. Go on, go, Tom. Go.
What you going for?
I want to say the most obvious one would seem C, right? But it's usually not the most obvious. I'm not really too familiar with medieval paraphrases.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with C. Sure.
Tom's going to C. What about you, Rob?
Well, I'm hedging my bets here because I want to get at least 1 point. So I'm going C with Tom.
So you're going with Tom there.
So the one time he's going to get it wrong, isn't it?
Audience, what are you going for, audience? You're going A. Okay, all right. Well, you'd be right, audience. A.
Ah, Jesus, Tom. You let me down. I was trying to just get one bloody mark. Always
Yes, Rob.
right until the time I picked the one that you picked.
You were wrong to go with Tom's clum.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I either thought it could have been something religious, or it could have just been the cherry plum hybrid. So, yeah. Oh well. No, you can't win them all. I'm still 75%. So
Yeah, very good.
All right, I'll take off my intellectual glasses now, and I'll just go back to normal. There we
3
are.
out of 4 ain't bad.
well, maybe if you had them on correctly in the first place, then that would.
That was very intellectual, I thought. I disagree. All right, I put them back on. Hold on. Wait. Ask me anything.
Chunky.
A drunk intellectual who can't find his sherry. That's what it is.
The answer C.
No, it is not. It is A.
Maybe hold on. I think. I had them on the wrong way round.
That's better. Now you look much more intelligent.
Start again.
Start again. All right, let's have one more.
Oh, go on then. One
Yeah,
more.
go on.
I'll
I'll have you this time.
Now I've got to get my bleed.
Let's see if his glasses.
Yeah,
Look.
it is.
Oh dear.
It's all
Now I've got to
about.
search for my glasses.
But here's the thing: is that Rob has to answer first this time.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. It's all about alignment.
Okay.
Right. You've got a choice. I'm going to give you a choice of. No, let's just go for it. I was going to give you a choice of 2 words and see which one you wanted to go for. Well, you can have ullage, which was ULLAGE. Ullage.
What for fucking for Christ's sake.
All right, that's the one then.
The game show host doesn't come out like here.
Treat me
You can
sort
have
of
your
special.
choice.
I can do this, all right? I don't need specialist treatment.
Right, okay. So, ullage, is it A, the amount of liquid left in a bottle or wine glass that isn't full?
Okay.
B, under feudalism, the requirement to work 1 day a year on the local vicar's land?
Yeah.
C, the measure of pressure on a hot air balloon. So is ullage A, the amount of liquid left in a bottle or wine glass that isn't full? B, under feudalism, the requirement to work 1 day a year on the local vicar's land?
Yeah.
E, the measure of pressure on a hot air balloon.
It's A. All right, A.
So, Rob's going for the A. What about you, Tom?
I'm gonna go with B.
You're going to go with B, audience? You're going with C. Split decision again. Well, he should have gone with Rob because ullage, he knows about his booze.
Look.
Look at him.
That's me. Is this not going to be the answer I'm going to get right?
That is a man you're looking at who knows his ullage
I
from
fucking
his spinach.
Right, I'll take these off now. I've proved my point.
Yep, you have. Right, here we go for last song then. We're there at last. A journey with the audience. It must be what, 3 hours? Getting longer and longer.
Maybe 4.
I mean, we're not kidding when we say to people, you just join us on our journey. It's literally...
Well, seriously, we may as well just start playing Dungeons and Dragons here, right? So
I bet the audience at home
Oh,
are going,
yes.
are we there yet? Are we there yet? So, who have we got?
yeah, so we have Alessandro Savino project. Tell me, remattered. I'm assuming that's supposed to say remastered minus one letter. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So Alessandro Savino is from Bologna in Italia. It says Il progetto Alessandro Savino nasce da. Well, anyway, it says a lot of things in Italian, and the influences include Maroon 5, Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's it. But this song itself, yeah, it's called Tell Me Remastered, and it's, I think, about freedom and so forth. So some of the comments have said amazing. Tune Me To. Okay. Fire 2, DM to collab. Nice. Epic. Epic is good. Very cool. A lot of energy. Big sound. Very good. Nice groove. So things like that, really. So it's a cool song, nice groove, big song. I do hope you two and the audience are going to enjoy this track, because I feel like it's a good show closer.
all right, Alessandro Savino project. Tell me, Uman's Freedom listed as rock, 4 minutes 15 seconds long. I'm going to be blasting this on the because I got to get the front door. I'm going to be blasting this on the monitors. So let's check it out. All right, that was Alessandro Savino project with Tell Me. Let's see, Carlos Fandango, since you now have a brand new bow tie, which I haven't seen on you earlier this evening.
You got it too tight. You need to loosen off.
I'm muting my mic. I wrestled it off of the owl and, well, just persuaded, and Al kindly lent me the bow tie. And yes, very smart now.
So what's the snooker score at the moment?
The snooker.
No, snooker hasn't gone on because there's a load of orange dye all over the table. So sorry about that. Yeah, so basically, nice. Okay, so really good sound, big song, and it was a good way to end the show, I think. Very much an 80s sort of feel. So let's think it's got nice synthesizers, interludes, and guitar interludes, and a good guitar. Yeah, a song with a proper guitar solo. Love a bit of that. That's great. The big sort of drum 80s sound reminded me a little bit of the sort of Phil Collins Genesis sort of sound of the 80s. And backing vocals, I love all that freedom. But the main take home from me, apart from it being quite hooky and memorable and having a good middle 8 bridge sort of section as well, and it being a well-constructed song, was that it reminded me so much vocally. The timbre, the sound of his voice really sounds to me like a sort of Cliff Richard when he does a sort of rock song. So think Devil Woman, think Carrie doesn't live here, that kind of sound, and Wired for Sound, all those, that kind of sound. When Cliff Richard does rock in the 80s, his kind of rock, then it's that kind of sound, but just a bit beefier. And I really like this one, and I've forgotten how much I like this. So this may end up in my top 3 because I do like something about this one. I like this kind of music, so it's going to be a tough call tonight.
All right, Smart Monkey.
Yeah, so I was trying to pin it down. I really liked it. It was a good song, and I was getting definitely the 80s vibe as we were talking there. And the guitar to me is the star on this one, actually, more so than the vocals. I was trying to pin it down. There's elements of sometimes, dare I say this, U2's The Edge guitar work in there at times, and then it doesn't. It goes more sort of rock style towards the end. And I was really trying to pin down. I definitely got Genesis, which is the French.
Genesis, quoi?
I get very European today, so we're going Genesis. I was getting very much a bit of Genesis in there, and I don't know. There was part of me that was, I'm not quite sure, but there must be something there that made me think of this. But Marillion as well, and I can't quite tell if it's the vocals or there's something there that reminded me a bit of Marillion as well. So I was really struggling to put it down, but ultimately, I really enjoyed the song. It is the crux of it all. It has a really good feel, really good ebb and flow. Yeah, a nice song. Nice.
You like Monsieur Phil Collins?
Yeah, Monsieur Phil Collins and Genesis. Très bon.
Everything in my uncle pocket and oui. Yeah, listen, it was good. That's for sure. Gave me a Bruce Springsteen kind of vibe to it. You know what I mean? Classic rock, definitely 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there. Maybe kind of like an Eagles feel to it a little bit, So yeah, it definitely had a really, really cool flow. It's very kind of like, let's say, like sing along, and I think a live performance of this would be awesome, right? So this recorded version, remastered again. I gotta think maybe there were some problems in the production in the previous version. In this version, there are no problems with the production. The drums pop, the guitar pop, the vocals pop, like everything's just done correctly. So I think really great song, and definitely deserves some recognition out there. Bologna, Italia. So
Still there? So you disconnected.
no, I'm waiting for the door to close. That's all.
You went into slow motion as well, then.
Did I really?
Yeah, you did. You
Oh yeah. The internet here sometimes messes up.
Is your internet connected to the door?
It might be. My lock's controlled by my telephone, believe it or not. So yeah, I open my I open my deadbolt with my telephone. Everything here is all kinds of like electronic, you know. So it's just absolutely crazy. So yeah, but I gotta think for what it is. Very catchy, very jazzy, very funky. You know, it's a cool rock song. Definitely into that like I was saying, like that Bruce Springsteen kind of vibe to it and everything like that. So I'm digging it. And I think it's a good job, and I think the production quality is just all over the place with this one. It's really, really good. And you know, seeing this live in concert would definitely be, you know, a hit. Total boom.
Actually does really well as well. So they're an Italian band, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've done really well.
Yeah, Bologna. Do you say Bologna?
Bologna.
Because
Bologna,
you know
yeah.
better than I would. So it's Bologna Bio Italia, right? So yeah. So,
Yeah, they've done really well at singing the English song as well. Then actually, it's very good, very good.
Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? So
True. Well, here comes the all-important question that we must ask.
Oh, I love pepperoni.
Yeah, okay.
pepperoni and extra cheese.
I'm going to ask you, Rob. Well, should we go to Tom first, or you, Roger? Do you need more time to deliberate, Tom, or are you decided?
I know. I'm just writing it down.
You're still writing it down, yeah? Okay, so do you know yours, Rob?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Carl. I think
Okay,
I have
so
my selection.
Please give us your top three in reverse order now.
Well, firstly, I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us on the show tonight. And in reverse order, what I want to do here is give a little shout out to a couple of others as well before I give my top three. Maggie-Rose, Tomorrow 17, fantastic song. Excellent job. Really enjoyed that. And AD̅M with his Eternal March at 16 years old, a very solid track. Right, without any further ado, adieu to
you and you and you.
Definitely going on the French theme tonight.
Oh, I like your microphone, Tom.
Oh, Tom's got one as well, has he? Very good. Was it?
It's, believe it or not, it's just a case.
Yeah, excellent. So my top three tonight are...
For what, I have no idea. But
Well, he's on the case anyway.
Is this working? Is this working?
Why don't you shine it in your face and see?
That's me, 1, 2, 3. At number 3. Copyright. We're done.
Yeah.
Edit that out. At number 3 is Reflect, or should I say F.
Reflect. Ref 1 act.
Ref 1 act. Yes.
Yes. Reflect.
Reflect. If I Die Tonight. Really enjoyed that. Excellent song. Number 2, Stan Butler. So that was difficult because there's part of me that thinks it should be number 1. I just really love Down in the Country.
And what's your number 1, Rob? I mean, what do you think?
Number 1 for me.
Like you
I
don't.
know how to do it a few listens, and it's still up there actually. Is JAWBERRY and How I Feel. Just something really just connected with me with that one. Real good retro feel song. So, yeah, that's my top 3. Thank you very much. Over to who's next, Carl? Let's go to Carl.
Thank you very much, Rob. And we're over now to Florida live with Thomas to give us his top 3 in reverse order. Thank you. Over to you, Tom.
Well, thank you, Carlos Fandango, very much. I'm over here in the Underground Studios in Pinellas Park, Florida, where the weather is slightly balmy and a little bit of wind has picked up, so we don't know if we're expecting any rain or not. But all things aside, I have to say, if you read my top 3, can you see all those?
Okay. Yep. Oh, that's
bloody-
famous.
It's almost the same as mine.
It is exactly the same. It's not almost the same. My list from 3, 2, 1 is verbatim the same as Smart Monkeys. So Smart Monkey, you were actually very correct and definitely on my type of music here today with Reflect. If I Die Tonight, very good song. Once again, this very, very minor production quality issue, but it still made that number 3 slot, didn't it? Stan Butler with Down in the Country was a fantastic song. Nothing wrong with this one at all, one bit. It just didn't have enough juice to make number 1, did it? And of course, JAWBERRY with How I Feel. I think that the first track of the night, the one that we heard, the one that was very poppy, has to keep that number 1 spot. Over to you, Carl, out there in Tunbridge, England.
Thank you, Tom. Well, tough decision tonight. Really tough decision.
Very tough to
Too much-
Very tough to finish.
I'm gonna say credit to all the people who contributed tonight, and fantastic show all round. No, really, I'm struggling to, if I could have a top 4, I could definitely do a top 4. But that's what my problem is I want to squeeze 4 into 3 and it just doesn't go. That's the
Do a shout out. Go on, do a shout out. That's the resolution.
What for though? Which one? I really do enjoy JAWBERRY actually, and Maggie-Rose. See, I want to put Maggie-Rose in my top 3 because that is quirky and different. I probably will. I'm going to go on the 3 that I will probably listen to the most, which is one of these 4.
Still haven't decided.
Still 4 songs. Okay, right. Let's go for it.
Top 3 is still going to be 4. Yes.
What's my favourite one though? I do like that. Tell Me, Andrew and Alessandro Savino. I do like that one. Down in the Country is just so catchy. I think that's the thing. That's what's holding me back, because I want to sort of give it a shout out, but then I keep thinking, do you know what? That was in my head when I came back from our first break. Rob heard me. I was singing Down in the Country.
And polished, so polished too. Such a good track. But there we go.
And JAWBERRY's got such a good vibe.
You were also singing Kung Fu Fooey.
Yeah.
I was singing Hong Kong Fooey. Yeah, that's true.
Hong
Kong Fooey, number 1 super guy. Yeah, I was. Yeah, another strike.
That was an earworm right there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
So number 1 is Hong Kong Fooey.
Yes, I've changed my number 1 as well to Hong Kong Fooey.
Yeah, Hong Kong Fooey by Scatman Crothers. Definitely number 1. Hong Kong Fooey. Right. So basically, okay. Please, may I have a top 4 just for this week?
No, sir. No, sir. It's a
negative stir. Oh, damn. Okay. Alessandro Savino, JAWBERRY, and Maggie-Rose. I don't want to drop Down in the Country though. It's so hard. Okay, I'll go for it then.
You keep saying you're going to go for
JAWBERRY number 3. JAWBERRY number 3. I think Tomorrow at 17 number 2. I'm going to go Alessandro Savino, Tell Me, and Down in the Country is number 4, but it's a kind of 3, possibly 2, possibly 1.
I told you cannot have 4.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to Down in the Country, Stan Butler. Stan, I'm going to check out more of your music.
There you go.
Great stuff.
Shout outs are definitely good because hey, shout outs to every musician that's produced any piece of music on tonight's episode. It was all good. It's not like we had any conflict here. We definitely didn't have our Simon Cowell moment saying that, hey, this is all rubbish over here, and had a ton of critique for it. All of you are doing fantastic jobs. We just kind of do this top 3 thing because Carl had suggested it, and now it's become a thing. Whereas, can I please have a 4th? Can I please have some more? Now
That's true. It was my idea, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And now we're we've already talked about, in an alternate universe, what we would have chosen and everything like that. Listen, all the songs are good.
I'll tell you what,
that's just
Owl and Banana will vote for Down in the Country. In my absence, Stan Butler wins for them too. They're happy.
That's rubbish.
How about that?
Just sucks.
No, yeah, it's rubbish. Exactly, it sucks.
Sucks. I got a bit of Bombay Mix here, who is voting for. What are you voting for?
I've got a tinkly.
I'm eating it.
The tinkly bell is going for ADًM, the Eternal March.
I ate my Bombay Mix, so you're gonna have to eat your Owl and Banana.
Okay, here.
We'll be writing in uproar. Don't eat the owl. The owl's the best part of the show.
Yeah, we can't let the owl go. What would we replace it with? Although,
so here I'll let Lisa be the tiebreaker here. How about that? So I asked her 1, 2, or 3. Just pick one at random.
Out of what? What do you mean?
She said number 3. Number 3 is your number 1.
Number 3 is your number 1.
Yeah.
What is number 3? What was your number 3?
My number 3?
Yeah, what was your number 3? Don't want to know your number 2. Don't get your number 2 out. Number 3.
I think I said JAWBERRY.
Oh, you can't even. Did you not make a note of it?
Well, no, I was doing it on the because I had 1, 2, 5, and 10 written down on my pad, and I couldn't decide. I just couldn't decide. So hard.
Oh, do you just write down the numbers? You don't actually write down the names or anything?
Well, no, because I've got the lists on the.
You picked number 3, so now you're going to try and pick which one was number 3.
Yeah,
which is just throwing you into tilt again now, isn't it?
As the songs go along, I put a little asterisk next to the song and make a little note of the number of it in my top 3 bit right at the end of the pad, and then choose out of the 5 or 6 I've got. It's difficult, really difficult. This is the quality of the music. Yeah, we do get some good songs, and I think tonight we've also had some good variety.
We have had great variety. We've had some classic rock. We've had some classic synth. We've had some synth wave. We've had some hip hop. We've had a bit of rap. Yeah, we've had a lot going on.
Yeah,
I'm not even asking. So don't even.
What have you mentioned to your banana?
Well, it's meant as a sort of it's a sort of stress toy, so it's a bit like a Stretch Armstrong sort of thing, where you can sort of poor thing, you can sort of bend him, and
you have bent your banana out of shape there.
Well, yeah, yeah, sort of. It's a bit bent, but it's a good stress toy. It's just good little sort of, not like it's stressed or anything, but you can make it into a dollop, and then easy enough to get it back into banana shape again. Feels nice though. It's just a nice little squeezy toy, Every now and then, get the banana out. Let's get it squeezed. It's back in the drawer now.
Every now and then, I fall apart.
Yeah, but a wardrobe off there. I wasn't very impressed.
Oh, that's a good point. Last week we had the as seen on TV, your Tascam thing, weren't we? So that's why. Just in case you wanted to know, not that you've asked or anything. Oh, you can't even see it. It says, as seen in your dreams.
Carlos Fandango.
Yes.
More like nightmares.
So
you're always in my dreams, Carlos.
What did you say, Tom? Sorry, I didn't actually hear you.
I said more like nightmares.
Nightmares, yes. That's a fair comment, yeah. So, Oh, of course, we didn't mention, of course, we had 11 tracks, so we actually did have a bonus track tonight. And next week will be the same because we've got another direct submission and the week after.
Well, next week, maybe.
Oh.
Yes, next week there may be no show at all. So
And that's the bonus.
happy birthday, everybody.
Enjoy. Enjoy the break. We'll end up with another no-show show or something. No, we need to just,
No,
you do need to move, don't
yeah.
you? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing I could do about that. Totally. So when I went for the place, the apartment was available from the 24th, but they do need 2 days of cleaning, which means it's available from the 26th. Once again, on the 26th is when I have to sign the lease, drop off the deposit, do all this, blah, blah, blah. On the 27th, I have the moving crew coming out. 27th is a Thursday. And so I really, 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 if I were a betting man and I were to guess whether we're going to have a show next week or not, then the answer would be no, we are not.
If you're Batman.
If I were a betting man.
Oh, I like the Batman.
Well, I actually thought you said batting man, like in cricket or something. So.
I'd like to see you as Batman. It'd be quite nice.
Batting man, bowling man.
Be a very short movie. Seriously. Ow, my ankle. And we're done.
You hurt me. Leave me alone.
That's pretty much where we would be at with me as Batman. I'm Oh my god, my throat hurts. Okay, I'm out of here.
Oh, I'm Batman.
Oh, one of those things. But in all this, I mean, listen, we're going to be back the very following week with the very hairy episode. Harry spelled Harry.
I am Harry. I know I am. I sure I am.
Are you sure?
I'm Harry.
We shall see you back then for our very hairy episode. Soon after that, we will get to our tragic Mike episode. All these shall be surprises for all of you because we do this for you, the fans, the musicians. We do it all for you here. So please, folks, do engage with us in the comments here. Let us know if you agree with our top 3, whether we should have a top 4, whether we should give Carlos Fandango some redemption with top 4 or not. And do visit the video description below. Find our show sponsor. Find the all of these fantastic musicians that we have reviewed today. Hop on their links and go show them some love. Send some fire. Save their tracks. Forward them to a friend. Share them onto your social media, your preferred social media platform, whatever the case may be. Get the word out there on this music that you have heard. And if we do not see you next week for whatever reason, then I do wish you all a pleasant week. And for today, the day of recording, we do wish you a very pleasant evening and a good weekend. I am DJ X-Tech. With me, as always, are 2 of the greatest people that I know on the face of this earth, and 2 of the fine connoisseurs of music, if you will, and that is a gentleman known as Smart Monkey and Carlos Fandango. I am wishing you a very pleasant evening and good night.
Please do like, subscribe if you can do it. Please do like, subscribe, and share, and we'll find the music that you love to hear.
Now you got to leave me with the ding dong belly bit, haven't you?
Yeah,
which I never know. So, if you see the dingy dongy belly bit down in the bottom, and you click on the things, and magic happens when you click on them because Tom, he magically understands what you want, and we'll send you out all the links and stuff. It's magic. It's like internet technology just gone wild. Fantastic. I love it. Yeah, ding dong.
special magic. Anyway, I'm going to say fare thee well, traveller.
Tom, you go next. Go on, go on.
Oh, see ya.
Wow. Tutty bye.